Welcome to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, episode number 221. Josh fucked me up there for a second. What the hell were you saying?
I don't know what I said.
Fair enough. All right. Hello. We're here. I am Rob. That is Josh. Say hi, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
And Brandon.
Hello.
Hi, Brandon. Welcome back, Brandon. We are here,
Yes,
as always,
welcome
every week.
back.
I'm here.
Off Skype.
Skype.
Fucking Skype. Yeah, I've had a Skype account for bloody ever, and now I'm getting just added to all sorts of crypto chats at random, and no matter how many I block, I keep getting added to more. I even signed out of my account last week, and yet somehow signed me back in.
Yeah, that's
Skype
not
will do
surprising.
that on
There are
a
a lot of
reboot.
bots on Skype. Yeah.
So I might just
Yeah.
have to delete Skype.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, go into your startup menu, like go Control Alt Delete, and then go to Startup, and then remove it from there, and it won't do it anymore.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
I'm surprised
But-
you still have it. I feel like Skype kind of died when Zoom became big.
Yeah, so when COVID was at its peak, my family wanted to do like group chats, but Zoom eventually started making us pay, and we wanted to talk for like an hour. So we all went back to Skype.
That's
And I
why we
was-
used Zoom at the beginning of our podcast, was because Skype was too damn expensive. Or the other way around.
Yeah, I was going to
Actually.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skype wasn't reliable, then we switched to Zoom, and then they started wanting to charge us. And
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame Zoom for wanting to charge people. It was supposed to be for business meetings, and then COVID happened.
right?
And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
everybody's fucking using it
Whoa.
constantly. Like, well, we need to like monetize this shit now.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Get in where you fit in, I suppose.
Yeah, but that's another topic. I digress. We're here to talk comics.
Indeed,
Talk
we are.
comics we shall. But first, news. How's it going, boys?
Oh boy, it's going.
Yeah,
It's going well for the most part, I think.
right on.
Nothing a whole lot new to report. Not yet, anyway. But I'm sure something will change at some point. I'll be sure to let you know.
I've got a couple of McFarlane Green Lantern figs on the way soon.
Yes,
Should
you
be
do.
shipping
Exciting.
tomorrow. I can't wait. I ordered 2 at GameStop and 2 from Amazon. GameStop has taken payments, and I'm just waiting on them shipping.
Oh man.
This will be the most amount of the same figure I've ever bought. But I'm hoping for platinums.
Mhm.
Wait a minute. What ones did you get?
Green Lantern. All 4.
Oh.
Yeah. Because that's the one where it comes with 1 body but 2 heads.
Right.
Tomare and Abin Sur. And then the platinum comes with Arcus Chumuk and Green Man, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the Green Man. I'm
So if
really,
I get 4 and I get 1 platinum, then I have all 4 of them.
I'm really pulling for you, man.
I hope so.
I can only
I
do so
fucking
much.
hope
I got you, guy coming.
Yes, you got me, Guy Gardner. And that's a perfect segue because we had a lot of news last week. The New York Comic Con, which Brandon was at. How was it?
It was pretty fun. After kind of a crazy week before, it was nice to be able to do something that I regularly enjoy. This is the 4th year I've been to New York Comic Con, which is crazy to say. It feels like just yesterday I went to that first one in 2021. and it was weird, and it was still like it was after COVID, but all of the major publishers hadn't come back yet, so there was still felt kind of premature. But every year it's just been better and better, and this year definitely was another legendary New York Comic Con for the books. So I always have a great time, get a ton of stuff signed, spend way too much money, and then wake up when the weekend is over in horrible pain because my back feels like it's given out and my legs are really sore. But it's worth it.
You're hauling around so much
Because I'm
stuff.
hauling around so much stuff. And as I was telling Rob, imagine carrying around all that stuff for the morning, and then you do a bunch of shopping, and that's like 10 more pounds you add. So you don't make it any easier. But yeah, lots of cool stuff. I finally got to meet Jeff Lemire, which is like literally
Awesome.
almost lifelong dream, at least since middle school.
Right.
And Kieran Gillen and W. Maxwell Prince of Ice Cream Man, which is pretty cool. I had like a ton of stuff for him to sign.
Right on.
So yeah, New York Comic Con, great time. If any of our listeners happen to be in New York and are looking for a fun comic themed event, they're already setting up stuff for 2025. So if you can make it, it's worth the trip. And I'm still trying to find a way to recruit either Rob or Josh to come up, or I guess come down in Rob's case to New York to come to the convention one of these days, because it would be that'd be a great time. You'd go nuts, man. They always have so much great stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yes. Oh,
One day,
God, it would
one
be
day, I do
awesome.
Oh yeah,
Just imagine Geek Matrix does Comic-Con. Fuck yeah.
that would be pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Super
Indeed,
DC Bros
it
invade
would.
New York.
Yeah. Plus, it would be much easier to do those like on the spot interviews.
Oh
It's
yeah.
so awkward doing it when it's just me.
Oh
you know,
no, I wouldn't
I
feel
can't-
awkward at all. Just walk up, blow,
Yeah.
hey you.
Well, it's kind of hard doing it when you're just a one man team. Like it'd be easier if you have other people, because like I see a ton
Absolutely.
of guys there that I recognize from other comics pop. Like I see the comic pop guys there. I've seen them pretty much every year. And the comic pals who do like another podcast on YouTube, and like they have like their merch and everything, so you know who they are. But it's
Right.
usually them and 2 or 3 other people, so it's easier to stage like those on the spot interviews when you have other people alongside you than just like doing it by yourself.
Oh man,
so
I wish we could
that's-
afford a booth there. That'd be badass, man.
that's another reason, yeah. Or one year we could get the press badges, which means we wouldn't have to pay, which is even
Hell
better.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm down for
But,
that.
yeah,
Let's go.
good times.
I'm curious.
We are calling in a favor next year. How did we not think of this?
What's this?
We'll use our dear friend Glenn, and we'll holler at him and we'll say, Glenn, our dear friend, would you by any chance talk to your dear friend Philip Kennedy Johnson and obtain us some press passes so we can do the interviews that we've always dreamed of? It's not
think-
like we haven't interviewed big guys.
I think if
Might
we're
be
gonna
a
going to
bit of
do
a
that,
reach, but
if we're
Tony
going to do that,
Orlando. I mean, we Jeremy. We've Jeremy Adams. We've had the people there, man.
yeah. I think if we're going to do that, we need to have Glenn join us.
Well, of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
Glenn would have to be there.
Glenn would have to be there. And did you say Tony Orlando?
Yeah, Tony Orlando was our, or I said Tony
Orlando.
Orlando. I meant Steve Orlando.
I was going
I
to say. Didn't know we were talking about crooners anymore.
That's,
Fuck off Skype. But
there we go. That's better.
so congrats on the weekend, because that's an awesome fucking time. We've all been to Comic Cons.
Oh, yeah.
We know how fun it can be, and New York being, I would say, the second biggest in the world behind San Diego.
oh yeah.
I
With,
think so. Yeah.
Honestly, well, it depends on who you ask, but I would probably say the only other contender that might be close to New York Comic Con is maybe C2E2.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, because C2E2's, I was shocked
That's
at how
pretty
big
good.
it was.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's very true.
I've never been to Fan Expo Toronto, but maybe you could, tell me how
It's
kind of big it is.
it's not like
Playing.
it's
Yeah,
like
don't mind me, guys.
any other major Comic-Con. It's really like any Comic-Con, but I wouldn't say it's a big one.
Yeah.
It's the biggest in Canada, but
Mm.
it's not necessarily like big in regards to like New York or San Diego, where
Yeah.
all the fucking news sites are going out and interviewing people on the streets, and you get like big news reveals from celebrities and movies and games and whatnot. Now, it's really just like a showroom floor, and there's some panels
Yeah.
and celebrity
Nice.
meet and greets. Yeah.
I'm just asking
it's
because,
big in terms of size because there's 2 fucking buildings it takes up.
yeah, because the only other Fan Expo I've been to is in Boston, and that was like at the convention center downtown, which is pretty big. So my assumption is that most of them are usually using pretty big convention spaces.
Yeah, and they'll be fairly similar, I imagine, in terms of like how it's presented
Yeah,
and how it's done. But we got a lot of news came out of New York Comic Con.
it certainly was.
Not much of a surprise. McFarlane revealed a whole bunch of new figures coming out,
Woot woot.
as well as
Power
Marvel
Girl
statues,
and
which are cool.
Power Girl
Yeah.
and Green Lantern look freaking amazing.
Yes, Green Lantern.
I have to
Guy
say,
Gardner.
for all the figures that were revealed, my favorite probably has to be Aqualad.
Don't you
Shut
mean
your
Tempest?
face, you liar.
I mean Aqualad, you know.
Yeah, in
Freaking.
the red and blue costume, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Look at it
That's
this
what
way.
they said. I assume that's what we're gonna get. It's not like they would show a picture of a character who has since dropped that name. That would be false advertising.
Yes, for the record,
Quite
for the
right,
listener,
quite right.
for reference, on the list of reveals was a figure that looks an awful lot like Tempest, Garth, from Aquaman comics.
But
All
don't you
grown
be
up.
deceived.
But they're calling him Aqualad.
Doesn't that just make sense?
It's like
Todd's
calling
sit-
Nightwing
Todd's-
Robin.
I was thinking the same thing.
Todd's sitting back in his office and going, hey, it could be worse.
We could give you a Roy Harper, call him Speedy.
Right?
Yeah, they could give you a Flash and call him Kid Flash.
Yeah. Give you Donna Troy, call her Wonder Girl.
From now on, all Nightwings will feature the Disco Wing costume.
It'll have to be just a Robin branding. Like if you buy a Nightwing, it's called Robin.
Yep.
Which Josh will take exceptional offense to because
I
according to him,
definitely would. I would
Nightwing
freak the
is
fuck
not a
out.
Robin.
No,
For
Nightwing is a
some
Nightwing.
reason.
You're a Nightwing.
Oh, I wish.
That's
What
all
I
think you
wouldn't
have
do
left
to
to
have
do.
that ass.
What I wouldn't do to have that life.
Right?
What was that?
I said what I wouldn't do to have that life.
Right. It wouldn't hurt to have Alfred's billions either.
It certainly wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, doing all that stuff that he does with the money, I mean, he couldn't deny it. I mean, that shit's got to make him feel a little, ha ha ha, way to go me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's a very humble chap as well.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he definitely's got to feel good.
Oh yeah.
I know I would.
I mean, we'll be talking about that later today, actually.
Yeah, and actually, before we jump on, Brandon, I said something last week that kind of blew Rob's mind, and it just occurred to me. I mean, this is Nightwing not only has broken away from the Robin moniker and the Robin identity. Not only has he done more charity work than Bruce ever dreamt of already, he was able to do one thing that Bruce wasn't able to do, and that is save his city.
Well, I would say that, but this week's issue of Nightwing would kind of contradict that. So
Yeah,
We'll see.
it was true
Yeah.
last week.
It
Yeah,
certainly was.
it was
Yeah.
true for a month, but
Yeah.
you know, you kind of had to see this coming.
A little
Yeah.
bit. He did it for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's longer than Batman.
So we had a lot of figure reveals. I honestly can't remember all of them now. What I found interesting is they had a vote. They had 4 pictures of potential figures to be made and released, which included Eradicator, Jade, and shit, I can't remember the other 2. And they wanted the people in attendance to vote on which one would get the treatment. And they voted, and the winner was Jade.
Which is so weird because
Absolutely.
that
Wild.
same day, and I'm not shitting you, I promise. I
Bizarro,
bought
classic Bizarro in the Guardian.
Yes.
yeah. But that same day, I bought the first volume of the original run of Infinity Inc., and I was just like,
Sick.
man, Jade is such an awesome character. No, like seriously, I'm not. This is not like I'm just trying to tie it in. It's one of those freaky coincidences that makes you, you know,
Wonder.
sit in your bed at night and wonder if you have an influence on the world.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying, man. There's power in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If I had a powerful ego, I would say my brain manipulated the McFarlane panel that I didn't go to and caused them all to vote for Jade. But I'm not Professor X.
I mean,
Yeah.
I fully take credit for hearing every cool idea and like focusing it on McFarlane. Rob knows that I do that. I
Yep.
take credit for it. But
That
it
just
works.
means we have
every
one-
time I go, hold on, man. I swear it's coming. This one is coming this year. I have been right.
That just means we have one sick ass Green Arrow coming
I can't wait.
someday.
Yeah,
You know,
one day.
I've been manifesting that for a long time.
The classic Captain Cold, that's
Yeah.
cool as hell. The Power Girl is
With
awesome.
Streaky.
It's with Streaky, right?
Yeah.
And the cape looks fantastic, but I think it might be vinyl. It
That's going to
looks
be a
like it might
render
be
on the
vinyl.
picture, so don't take that as fact.
I mean, the way that it's positioned. Anyway, it reminds me of
what you see on the picture I sent is not the final figure. That's just a render. That's a computer render. So what you see as the cape is not what it's actually going to look like.
Guy Gardner looks pretty damn good too,
It
and I
does,
hope
yeah.
that's what he looks like.
And it looks like cloth capes are how they're going to be going forward. How they're going to be
That
going
will be-
forward.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I
Like
really
the
do.
whole cloth and posable cape has been such a hit, and I don't think they will ever go back. Because if they do, it's a stupid fucking move.
You can say that again. That's all I'm saying.
We also have Aqua Tempest. We have Wildcats. We have Orion. We have Max Fleischer Superman, which I thought was really interesting.
Right.
All the 7-inch ultra articulate figures, and then we have another Build-A-Figure wave featuring. I want to call it the Total Justice League, but I think it's Justice League Task Force League, with Aquaman complete with flowing '90s hair. No hook hand yet though. That was pre-Peter David.
Right.
Superman with the epic flowing mullet. The Flash with a beautiful crimson, and Batman, which might be the best looking Batman figure they've had yet. And if you get all 4, you get to build a Darkseid. A classic
Weird choice.
Darkseid.
Whoa, hold on. I must have missed this.
Oh, you didn't see that one? They look fucking good.
I skipped right by this picture. Holy mackerel.
shit. Yeah.
I feel like somewhere in the future, and you know, maybe I'll be wrong, and this will be very embarrassing, but we may be getting a Jesse Quick. Just hear me out, because
I think
So
you're
far,
right.
we've gotten Impulse, we've gotten Max Mercury, and now we're
Mhm.
getting classic cowl '90s Wally West Flash, like stepping out of the page of Mark Waid's run. And the only other
Yeah.
character missing from that run, with the exception Johnny Quick,
Is
is
Jesse Quick.
Jesse Quick. I
Yeah.
feel like it's time.
All right. I can
Well,
tell you.
they're also
I can
fleshing
tell
out
you
the
by the end of.
villains.
Yeah, they are. But by the end of next year, Zatanna is coming
Hell yeah.
with actual fishnets, not paint.
Do not take that as fact. It is Josh's hopes and dreams, but his hopes and dreams tend to
It's me
become
calling
reality.
it.
Yeah.
It is me calling it. By the end of 2025, we will have a Zatanna figure, and it will have real fishnets.
Can we
Sorry,
throw Jessica Cruz into there as well?
Jessica Cruz is on my
And Connor
hope
Hawk,
list.
please,
Oh,
please,
Connor Hawk.
I don't think we're getting
please.
Connor Hawk for at least 2 years.
Ah,
I think we will get a good looking Ollie though.
yeah.
If you could pick a Green
If-
Arrow to have first, would it be Ollie or Connor?
Oh, it'd be
Me?
Ollie. But I
Ollie.
envision, like, this is like pure fantasy, but I envision a just beautiful 2-pack a la the Batman Hush, although that wasn't as beautiful, of Green Arrow and Black Canary. And I would fall over and die happy,
That would be amazing.
knowing that I had that.
Well, speaking of 2-packs, I mentioned that they are fleshing out Flash villains. Now, we already have Captain Boomerang, who's out now, and Josh mentioned Captain Cold is coming. And in a 2-pack coming later this year is Thomas Wayne, Batman from Flashpoint, and Professor Zoom, the Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne
Yep.
himself. And it's a very classic-looking Zoom. It's got the red eyes, so it's not like a classic mask, but it's pretty much what you get out of Flashpoint, and it looks fucking good.
Yeah.
Now we
so
have a
Flash
heat
and
wave
villains are
already,
being
right?
fleshed out. There is kind of a stylized heat wave. It's part of like an Elseworlds comic, so it's an original design.
Okay.
But technically, yeah, there's a heat wave already.
Well, that one doesn't count. I would say that the next one's coming will go Heat Wave, Weather Wizard, and then Glider.
Yes, get the rogues going.
Yep, and
That
I
would be
don't
nice.
think that we'll see anything like Top, but
I wouldn't mind the Trickster.
Trickster
I'd
would
love
be cool.
I love a classic Trickster.
You know
Yeah.
who I think would be awesome, but I mean, this is just me. I don't think it's coming at all. But Hartley, excuse me, the Pied Piper.
Oh, Pied Piper. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Maybe Chillblaine
Want
for
it.
anyone who loves the 90s.
Chillblaine. See,
Wouldn't that be
hear-
funny?
Oh, a
If
girder,
they,
magenta.
yeah, they're like,
I would dig those.
well,
but they ain't
people
coming.
wanted a Captain Cold. Why wouldn't they want a Chillblaine, you know?
I hear Chillblaine and I get mild seething rage from the Flash season 7.
I didn't even know he was a character on that show. That's hilarious.
6, whatever season it was. Yeah. Fucked around with Caitlin Snow or Killer Frost, and it was horrible.
I am
Kind of
gonna
ruined
end up.
Frost.
I'm sorry, I'm talking out loud. I'm gonna end up buying that build a 4-pack, even though I don't want Mullet Superman or that Aquaman.
But you want Darkseid.
I want Darkseid and that Flash. I haven't found a Flash that I'm absolutely in love with.
And I wish I
This is
held out
it.
on getting a Wally West, because like
That-
as much as I like the Wally I got, it's Mike Diodato design, so I'm not in love with it.
Like I didn't
Yeah,
even know it was
that's,
humanly possible to have a 16-pack.
The only other version of that figure they've done recently, I think, is the DC Essentials or DC Collectibles one that I have, and I think it's only like 6 inches. So
Where the symbol sticks off of the costume just a little bit.
I don't think it sticks off the costume. It's just like a flat print, but it has that same 90s cowl design, and then the darker crimson color.
There is one Flash figure that is out there that I think is cool, and I think it's from McFarlane. I'm not positive though. It actually might not be. It might be like Diamond Select or something. But it looks pretty good. It was up until now the best Flash that I had seen, but the symbol was raised up off of the chest.
Oh,
No, I don't have to worry about that now. I have this coming.
Is it
the
this
best
one?
Barry Allen I've seen was definitely the DC Essentials one, but I think that one's pretty hard to find now.
I bet.
This one's got the raised chest emblem.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me put you big.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, no.
that's the
Mine,
one.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm thinking
not
of.
This is the Mike Diodato
Yeah.
design.
Ah,
or,
okay.
well, technically it's the EVS design from
Yeah.
Flash Rebirth, but they just repurposed that costume.
which is where we should be. I firmly
Oh,
believe we
yeah.
should get Girder and Magenta.
I mean, it's got the Mike Diodato
And
eyes.
Peekaboo and Double Dare and
Double Dare, hell yeah! I don't know about
what's his
Peekaboo.
Plunder. I'm trying to think of all the villains from Jeff Jones' run.
Oh, there was
yeah.
Oh my God, is it Magma Man? What the hell was his name? Molten Man? No, that's Marvel.
What is his name?
You know who I'm talking. Tar Pit.
Tar
Pit.
Pit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly
Tar
what
Pit
you're
would
talking
be
about.
cool. Girder, for sure.
Girder for sure. I
Yeah.
want, yeah, And damn it, I want onomatopoeia and the answer. I know that's not the Flash, but I'm just
Answer.
random ass villains that are out there. I want those two.
Okay, if you're getting the answer, I want Eraserhead.
Eraserhead isn't a DC villain.
I don't care.
That doesn't count.
I'm like, what Eraserhead are you talking about? Like from the David Lynch movie?
No. I might be
No,
thinking of.
From My Hero Academia?
No, I might be thinking of the wrong character.
I'm seriously dumbfounded that now that we have like this action fueled question, now they haven't done something like reinvent the answer to have it be like her nemesis. I mean, it's corny,
Oh, God.
but there's a
I think
villain
that's too
sitting
corny.
right there. Well,
Yeah.
see, the thing is, don't bring them back comically. Bring him back similar to what he was originally. Just make him a little darker. I think that would be cool if he went
It's funny
through
that
like
you,
some kind of like culty dark whatever.
Yeah, it's
shit
funny
to-
that you casted the answer as a villain, because I always had this really stupid pitch of like, if I were to reboot the question, I would reboot it as a Batman and Robin team of the question and the answer.
That's a complete revamp.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't Eraserhead, it's just the Eraser.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it was like Eraserhead.
What, isn't that Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, let me show you. This guy. Oh my God.
Ah,
Literally a pencil for a head. I mean, it's a mask, but still.
nice. That's like Condiment King type shit right there.
Yeah. Hell, on that note, give us Condiment King.
No,
And Kite
you
Man.
don't put
Yeah.
that. Kite Man definitely needs to come.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of people that feel that same way.
Yeah.
The only
After I
ones
saw
I can say
them
for
do
the only ones I can say
Wave
for right
Rider-
now is Zatanna and Black Canary.
Yeah. After I saw them do Wave Rider, I was like, they can really do any figure. They don't care.
Right?
Yeah. That's why we have Effigy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, you know a
Next,
figure I passed
Alexander
on.
Nero.
You know a figure I passed on like a long time ago, with a storyline that was kind of iffy for me. But now I want the figure so bad is Abyss.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, like
It's
like
a great
I've been.
design. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a great design, and now like sitting here wanting Abyss, I'm thinking Abyss should come back.
mm.
But anyway, we'll get to some more Batman later.
Yeah.
Why, Josh, are you
I didn't
giving
say it.
praise
I
to a
didn't.
Joshua Williamson character?
Shut up.
Do I need to look
As
out my
you,
window and see if pigs have started to fly?
you're in the city, you wouldn't see it.
It depends how far they
No.
fly.
Well,
Exactly.
let's just say that we may all be surprised by this week's comic books.
Oh goddamn!
Some of
Okay.
us, and
I'm
listeners
already
too.
surprised.
Yeah.
I am already surprised. Before we get into all that, there's comics news, comic reveals that came out of New York Comic Con. Some New York Comic Con, some just the regular solicits coming out in January. We have more Absolute books coming. There's Absolute Green Lantern, Absolute Martian Manhunter, and Absolute Flash. Absolute Flash is a very young Wally West. An Absolute Martian Manhunter looks like a jelly bean, but in the best
It's a
way
Martian that is
possible.
not a Martian, which is how Dennis Camp pitched it, which I was like,
Then-
sold.
Wait
Sold.
a second.
You didn't even have to say anything else.
Wait a second. When I hear Martian Manhunter looks like a bean.
It's not drawn by your least favorite artist.
No.
Thank goodness.
No. Yeah,
He's slightly colorful and oblong.
Yeah.
And jagged
I don't
at
know
the
how
same
familiar
time.
you are with Javier Rodriguez, but his stuff is mind-blowing.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not used. Martian Manhunter's had all kind of different interpretations over the years, and
Nothing like this one.
Nothing like this one. Interdimensional creature is not what I was
It's
expecting, but I'm here for
Picasso on weed.
Picasso on weed.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
You put your weed in it. Alrighty
Yeah.
then.
The Absolute Green Lantern, I honestly don't remember a damn thing about, which is kind of weird. I've been focusing on a book we'll be talking about today in honorable mentions, but we also have some new number ones coming in January. I should have pulled it up, but primarily I can say, because I remember this one very much, coming in January, Aquaman is coming back with a brand new number one. Hell to the fuck yeah.
Woo. I am stoked.
And it's being written by Jeremy Adams, which makes me even more stoked.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's being drawn by John Timms.
By John Timms?
Looks fucking great.
That's awesome.
Should not have come out when it came out, but is awesome news nonetheless.
Yeah. Oh, very much. Yeah, it was kind of announced a day early.
Jeremy spoiled hours before it was supposed to be officially released.
Yeah, Jeremy Adams was supposed to announce it at his little panel, but then the DC Universe Infinite subscribers got their look at DC Direct or DC Connect early, as they always do, and right there on the front page is Aquaman number one by Jeremy Adams and John Timms.
Yeah.
This Aquaman will be a little bit different. Mild spoiler alert, this will be spinning out of what happened at the end of... What the fuck was the event we just had?
Absolute Power.
Absolute Power, thank you. Where Aquaman has now, from somebody somehow, gained aquakinesis.
Okay, so, it's like they're just squeezing together Jackson and Arthur and maybe a dash of Mara.
Pretty much. Jackson and Mira both have aquakinesis, the same aquakinesis. It just remains to be seen.
I wasn't going to leave her out.
I would have just said they took it from Mira. I'm curious.
Jackson's got more power, so I'm assuming we'll see some dashed in there too.
Yeah. If the powers that ended up in other people, the people they belonged to initially, are they gone? Like, say Aquaman got his aquakinesis from Mara. Does Mara no longer have aquakinesis, or do they both have aquakinesis?
I think maybe powers swapped.
Yeah,
Or
it sounds like
like they
powers
said
swapped.
also, they also said that some powers changed, like Wally's or other people's. What we saw Plastic Man turning invisible, right?
Yeah, and fire and
Yeah,
ice had their powers swapped, so
Right.
it's a little bit of
that's
everything.
true. That's very true. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, that's honestly about all I remember. There's so many new number ones coming out in the next few months. Um, but Aquaman is definitely one I'm stoked for.
Absolutely, man.
And I was gonna kick off the show with this, but I'll kick off going into our comic reviews unless you guys have anything else to add. Any other
I
news?
do not.
I'd swear there was some other stuff, but
Yeah, I can't.
I
Think
can't
of it
remember off the
right
top of my
now.
head.
Yeah.
A lot of it was just more information on titles that have already been announced. So,
Yeah.
the Metamorpho from Al Ewing, the New Gods from Rom V and Evan Cagle, which the preview
Looking
pages they showed are insane.
Oh
I knew it
God.
was going to
Yeah.
be good, but I was like, oh man, yeah, they're really
Yeah.
taking it to the next level.
Evan Cagle has
Um,
outdone himself.
yeah,
Yes.
seriously.
Oh, you guys are making me so happy.
We're totally forgetting the Atom Project thing.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Atom and Atom and Captain Atom. Yes.
Could it get any better?
Could have the Atom from the Tangent Universe.
Could have the original Atom from the 40s, just a short
Atom.
guy.
It could have Atom Smasher.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
that would be
that's not.
counterproductive.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. We need Ryan and the other one to live.
Hank.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Holy shit.
Ray. Ooh.
Ray, thank you. Fuck. I could not remember his bloody name. I just remember Ryan Choi.
Everyone forgets Ray Palmer.
Even Ray Palmer
Even
does.
DC.
Even his wife.
Even his, well, yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if she forgot him so much as she didn't want to think about him, which
And
is
Eclipso kind
quite-
of forced her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking more of Sword of the Atom when she had a small little affair,
Oh,
And-
okay.
basically caused Ray to go on vacation, and well, anyway, that whole
Yeah.
story.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Altogether, it's Aquaman #1, Batgirl #1, Black Canary Best of the Best #1, Black Lightning #1, Challengers of the Unknown, JSA, Justice League The Atom Project, Justice League Unlimited, Metamorpho the Elephant
Metamorpho
the
the Elephant
Element
Man.
Elephant Man. It's another
I am
David
a
Lynch
human
reference.
being. New Gods, The Question, All Along the Watchtower, and Two-Face.
See, they
More stuff
announced,
coming, I'm sure.
Right?
they announced that question book well before the end of Absolute Power, and it only made sense to me at the end. Like, now we know the question is the security officer, like the lead security officer for the Watchtower. But prior to that, I've been wondering what what the fuck the question has to do with Jimi Hendrix, and I've been trying to figure it out.
I think you mean Bob Dylan,
Yeah.
No.
but also Jimi Hendrix.
Commercial time?
But
And
first,
then- but first, there's more.
no, All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix.
Originally by
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
Okay. So I'm not technically wrong.
Not technically wrong. I would
heard
say the
Jimi
Hendrix one's
version
probably the more
first.
famous one.
Yeah,
and
that's
better
the
one,
thing.
real
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
I love Bob Dylan, but I don't necessarily love his version of that song.
I didn't know who did it first. So. I can do the joke when we get back.
Okay. All right. Well, I will go ahead and mark down some time. And I think that'll do it. Hey, everybody, we're back.
Hey,
Sorry for such a
Hello.
long wait.
hey, on that note, why can't you hear pterodactyls go to the bathroom?
What is that?
Why?
Because they're fucking dead.
Yes.
What do you think?
That was perfect.
What, do you think there's going to be some kind of grammar humor? Like, no.
I wasn't expecting that blunt of a follow-up.
Fucking dead. That was perfect.
I wanted to start the show that way, and then kind of just
Mm.
Skype interrupted me, and then I lost my train of thought.
Oh,
It's
you
like-
gotta
it's like
hear
when you
when
say-
that happens.
Like when you say like how many dogs does it take to change a light bulb, and they say how? It's like none. Dogs don't change light bulbs. They can't
Exactly.
do that.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I love a good anti-joke.
Right?
Yeah.
No, like, oh, that fell apart.
None. Stupid. Dogs don't have thumbs.
Ingenious bastards. How did they do
Yeah.
it? All right, that would be crazy. But let's. What's going to be crazy is the amount of books that we've got to cover. So we
Oh, God.
should get rolling. We're 40 minutes deep, and let me hit the honorable mentions before we jump into the rest of them. Here is the rundown. DC Horror Presents #1. Have either one of you guys read this?
Not yet.
Holy hell, I'm gonna
did.
love this.
The cover from Tyler Crook is very enticing.
Mhm.
Oh my god, I am gonna love this so much. And with characters we know, it's great. It's a 9 out of 10. I'm so
Right
excited
on.
about this title.
Is it like modern DC characters in horror situations?
Well, okay, in the two stories that are in issue #1, we have Dollface and Wonder Woman.
Ooh.
Yes.
Is this a one shot or a new anthology?
It's a new anthology.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've got a whole new line, I guess, coming about DC horror with under the Black Label.
Ah.
I think so, anyway. I hope so, anyway. Now I'm doubting myself. Anyway, from the DC Vault, Death in the Family, Robin Lives #4. I will tell you this much, as clickbait as it sounds, you will not believe what happens in this issue.
Does Jason die?
Well,
Is
that's none
all
of your
right in the
business.
world?
Mhm. Does Jason live?
Well, that's none of your business.
I mean, the book says Robin lives. I can only assume he does.
It's got to be one or the other.
Yeah,
I
he
can tell you
lives
what
or
it
dies.
is. It's awesome. I'm
Uh,
serious. This has been
Cop
way
out.
better than it should have been.
Okay,
8.5 out of 10.
this is the last issue of it, right?
Yes.
Okay,
No.
so
Yes.
no, yes,
Sorry. Yes, it is.
yes, no, no, yes,
Yes.
no, yes, yes, no,
No.
yes.
Book it. Yep.
That was
Um,
that was also a Futurama reference. If y'all didn't catch that.
Oh crap! I forgot to tell you,
Yeah.
I was at the Futurama panel on Sunday. Well, we can talk about that later, but
There's a Futurama.
that was a
panel?
lot of fun.
God damn.
there's a
All right,
Futurama
bro.
panel for the new
Yes.
season.
We need to
They
talk
had
about that.
Oh my
Billy
god.
West,
No.
John DiMaggio, and Matt Groening up there.
Right on.
Okay. Here's the deal. Are you ready?
Yeah.
If I come across an enormous sum of money and I can afford to buy all of our tickets, then we have to go to New York Comic Con.
Yes, please.
You know, if it
I will
happens.
put you guys up.
Hell yeah.
You don't even have to pay for a hotel.
You have
All right,
space.
Holly would become.
We'll make it work.
Hell yeah. But Rob, I'm gonna need you, and I'm gonna need you, Brandon, to cosplay as Zoidberg and Bender.
Oh my god.
I can do
Who's
both
who?
voices. Which do you want to be, Brandon?
I can do both voices. Which one do you want to be?
I
don't know.
think
You can do
Brandon should be
One not
Bender,
as good.
and Rob should be Zoidberg.
Okay, I'm down
Oh
with
my
that.
God.
Brandon, how good is your whoop whoop whoop?
My whoop, not that good.
My whoop,
I
whoop,
can do
Mostly
that.
because
so-
I'm too self-conscious.
whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Don't be self-conscious, Bender Rodriguez.
Oh yeah.
Bender,
All right,
Bender.
before it gets off too further,
I just wanted to ask it. So this is the last book. Is that the end of the story, or is it hinting at more to come?
we very well could possibly see more of this.
So this might just have become an Elseworlds book.
Perhaps because this shit was good, dude.
Interesting.
8.5 out of 10. Power Girl number 14. God, I love this book. It looks so good, and this story is cool. It's been consistently good. Like really good. Not Poison Ivy good, but I was really surprised. It's been a hell of a time. Green Lantern Dark number 1. I don't know I have no idea what it was that I was expecting with this, like at all. But what I got was like, I'll say that the art is really interesting. It's pretty appropriate for the book and the story. This kind of shit. This is brand new. It's a little weird and it's pretty dang good. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. If you haven't read it, read it.
I just want to point out to the creative team that's been saying, "Oh, it's not Tangent Green Lantern." We fucking knew it was.
It was an obvious
and
misdirect.
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so to be fair, spoiler
To be
alert
fair.
for those that have not read the book, while it is in the Tangent universe and it's the Tangent Green Lantern, it's not the same Tangent Green Lantern we've already met.
Right.
Correct.
It's a new Tangent Green Lantern, but it's in that world.
Yeah. But the opening is literally, well, I don't want to spoil it, but
Or at least
it
what it
confirms
seems
it's
anyway.
in the Tangent
Yeah,
universe.
yeah, like it's very much definitely in the Tangent universe. Earth 9.
Mm.
Don't fuck with us, DC fans.
Maybe they
We
can't say it's in the
know our
Tangent universe.
Well, they
to
want to,
avoid
they want to
shit.
give it away. They want it to be a surprise.
I
As if the,
Get that, but when
Yeah.
the fucking cover of the first issue says Green Lantern and there's a woman with a dark cloak and a Chinese lantern on a hook, it's only
Who could
gonna
it
be
be?
one person.
could it possibly be?
You know?
I don't know. Well, I guess the cop out that they could have is it's not technically the Tangent universe. It is a alternate timeline of a different Tangent universe.
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Boom.
Or an
Awesome.
alternate timeline of the Tangent universe, if you
It's, a,
will.
it's
So
an Elseworld of an Elseworld.
Or this
Exactly.
universe's version of the Tangent universe.
yeah, let's go with that.
Brandon, have you been reading Constantine yet? I know Rob's not going to. I know it's too fucked up.
No,
for him.
I'm holding out on this one until it's
That's too
all
fucked up, like,
finished,
haven't
so I
gotten
can just
around
read
to
it in one go.
Okay, hell yes, because this one sentence, this entire issue is holy shit.
Oh, great!
Yeah,
It's so
Nine-
weird that
9 out of
what,
10.
this book ended in. I mean, the original Simon Spurrier, Aaron Campbell run ended in 2020, maybe 2019. I don't even remember anymore, and they're still going with this. I don't know. That kind of blows my mind. Like people really love this series that they were willing to give it its due.
It earns it, and it deserves it. 9 out of 10 for that one. Batman the Brave and the Bold number 18. So like Batman doubts his worthiness. Miss Martian and Jackson Hyde are drawn amazing, and the action is great. It's a pretty darn good story, and guys, it's about the power of friendship.
Something like that.
No, for real, you'll enjoy it. And so
I only
we gotta-
read that story just because I saw something on Bleeding Cool that was like, oh, in Brave and the Bold, there's a preview to Jeremy Adams' Aquaman. And I was like, sure, why not? And I read it, and I was like, that was not a preview at all. That was
Not even.
a side quest at best.
Yep. But hey, I got
It's
to see
fun.
Miss Martian.
Yeah.
I'm happy. It is a fun
yeah,
one.
yeah.
And the art is really fantastic. Also in the book is an Evil Elvis wannabe, all the Robins plus more Robins, Resurrection Pet Edition. It was really good. 8 out of 10 for this one. And then Zatanna, Bring Down the House. I know neither one of you guys are listening to me about reading this, but you should be number 5.
I've been reading this. I've been reading this
Oh,
since
have you
issue
really?
1.
I thought
Yeah.
you have not, dude. Okay,
What? Of course I was going to read a
it's
Zatanna book. I
awesome,
probably
man.
didn't talk about it because I wasn't here when you guys were
Oh,
reviewing it at the time.
yeah,
But
probably.
yeah, and also,
Um,
like, I literally was just hyping up Javier Rodriguez as if I wasn't going to read a book that he was doing.
That's my God, it's so good. This is an awesome Zatanna story, and kind of it's kind of the kind of story that she needs to have right now. Other than I'm completely blanking on the title of the one. Batman Full Moon. She's in that one too.
Right on.
But in any case, that gets an 8.25 out of 10, and then that is all the honorables worth mentioning.
Hell yeah.
Indeed.
All right, so should we just jump into our books for the week?
Well,
May
of
as
course,
well.
dude. Stop clowning around.
Ah. If that wasn't obvious, we're going to be talking about Harley Quinn number
You
44.
make jokes like that. It's not a laughing matter.
Oh.
Ah,
Yeah. I'm trying to think of one, but I got nothing. Anyway, Harley Quinn number 44. Part of DC All In. This is written by new creative team, written by Elliot Kalan.
Kalen.
Art from Mindy Lee, colors from Triona Farrell, and letters from Lucas Gattoni, with the cover from Elizabeth Torque and Dave McCaig.
Wow, is it awesome or not?
It is a pretty cool cover.
I fucking love that cover so much. I want a Harley that looks like that. Like for a McFarlane figure.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, well, good
Please.
news. Just read this issue.
Yeah.
All right, so Harley, quote unquote, back in town, which is the name of the story. She is back in town. Things have kind of gone back to normal for old Harley, complete with a bit of boredom and despair, where she feels like her life is in a bit of a rut. And after the grand adventure across the multiverse and teaching she had, with the previous creative team, life is just status quo, where being a hero doesn't quite do it for her, and stealing stuff isn't quite like it used to be. She's too bad to be a good guy and too good to be a bad guy.
It's
So I
Rodney
don't really know where to
Harley
go.
Dangerfield. She gets no respect.
No respect.
Oh, that was a good one.
Well, my impression?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've been waiting to make that Harley Dangerfield joke too. Just wasn't expecting the impression to follow.
I really enjoy doing good Rodney Dangerfield. I spent my youth watching Rodney Dangerfield. It was kind of hard not to.
That's what my wife says. Fucking love Rodney Dangerfield. My dad used to play him all the time when I was way too young to get the jokes, but I fucking
Yeah.
didn't take me long to figure it out.
Yeah, that was the same with me. All right, so Harley has decided to at least try a bunch of things, and then starts to reminisce when she goes back home. Ivy is off doing her own thing and is staying away from Harley for a bit because she's busy with her own adventures. Heads back home and finds a photo of a young Harley, fresh out of grad school, that Ivy put up on the fridge to just remind Harley of her past and her fun times and her humanity, and also she loves Harley, so it's a cute photo. And that makes Harley reminisce about when she did just get fresh out of grad school, and first moved to Gotham City and got her first apartment on Bloodstain Lane in none
Wait,
other
that can't
than
be right.
Throat Cutter Hill, a neighborhood in Gotham that, according to Harley, even Batman gave up on. And it's
Fuck
called
this.
Throat Cutter Hill because in 1887 the mayor got his throat cut there.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's even a statue of the mayor clasping his throat as it bleeds out. It's fucking fantastic.
Weird that they'd build a statue for that, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna name a town after it, they may as well. Our first night there, she's trying to find her apartment and bumps into some gangbangers, but is saved by a shadowy cloaked figure named Chicken Fingers.
And that fits.
Yeah, not Batman, but Chicken Fingers, a crazed homeless man who wants to protect people, and goddamn does he ever protect them. So Harley
Has
makes
very
her way.
good diction for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, shit, if he's named Chicken Fingers, he better have good diction. So she gets to move in and then gets to know all her neighbors and all the shady shit that they are all up to. And even the gangbangers that she was mugged by at first, they get to know her too and are even friendly with her. And she becomes a bit of a local legend after a while. And flashback or flash forward back to the present, she realizes she needs to go back to that neighborhood, find her roots, and maybe from there figure out her future. And she gets there and finds that gentrification has taken over, and the neighborhood is completely different. Everything is high class, high end, bright, shiny, and fancy. But Chicken Fingers is still around. However, instead of protecting people, he's being harassed by security instead. So she steps in to protect him and save him, conveniently outside the building that she needed to go visit, which caused the gentrification called Nowigoso.
Bless you.
Thank you. Which stands for Northwest Gotham Southeast.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which makes no fucking sense, but welcome to urban gentrification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta take you to Dumbo sometime.
What's special about Dumbo?
Dumbo is a neighborhood in Brooklyn that also has an abbreviation just like that, where I forget what the full thing is, like down under the Brooklyn overpass or something like that, but it's another one of those. Let's just take the first couple letters, put it together, boom, new name.
Yeah,
so no one calls it down under the Brooklyn overpass. They call it Dumbo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's weird.
Yeah, Toronto's not got anything like that. At least I don't think. No. No. Everything's properly named. Right, so she smashes her way to that building.
Except they call themselves the GTA in the Toronto area.
Yeah,
which, I mean, it makes...
Greater Toronto area.
Also affiliated with a horrible franchise of video games.
We were called the GTA first, before the video game franchise. And it's not horrible, you're horrible.
I was about to say, I was like, horrible? What the...
Well, I mean, the things that happen in the game, not the quality of the game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, you have to be
That's
a horrible person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're feeling frisky, you play the game by not breaking any laws.
You mean you don't kill the strippers?
Have you ever gone on GTA Online and just obeyed all the traffic laws? It's such a thrill.
That's so punk rock.
Right? You see people zooming all around you. You're like, bitch, there's a red light. Slow the fuck down.
You're crazy. Although, when I was playing Cyberpunk 2077, you did have to drive almost like you were regularly driving, maintaining like 30, 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
All kinds of shit. Otherwise, you were going to just crash every time you fucking turned around.
Jeez.
Because it was like a mega megalopolis.
Oh,
it was like huge, so much traffic. You had to know how to drive.
Was there.
What's that?
Keanu Reeves was there.
Whoa!
If this vehicle goes over 35 miles an hour, it will crash.
What's so weird is that Keanu Reeves really was there.
He was, yeah.
He plays Johnny Silverhand. He's
Yeah.
a big part of the story.
I will never forget that when he came out to talk about the game at the Video Game Awards years ago.
Uh-huh.
And it was so classic. I think
was awesome.
he came out, big smile, and this like at the height of his popularity, and someone in the crowd shouted, "We love you!" And he just went, "Yeah, love you too." And everybody cheered, and that sounds like a fake story, but it actually fucking happened.
Oh no, dude, that's why
Is that
they
is
call
that where
him the internet's
is that where the
boyfriend.
"Know You're Amazing" thing came from?
That's what it was. Yes, no, you're
right.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Exactly.
remember that, but I couldn't remember how
Yeah.
long ago that was.
yeah. That was great.
You're amazing.
Keanu.
Yeah,
The internet's boyfriend.
pretty much. He's just a classy guy. He really is.
Yeah.
Nicest guy in the world behind Tom Hanks. I am maybe in front of Tom Hanks.
Maybe.
Maybe. But anyway, speaking of nice guys, Harley smashes into a building and beats up a bunch of security guards. Bud and Lou helping her out by biting some in the arm. And this is when the building's proprietor comes down, Althea Klang, who is the manager and owner of Nowigoso Tower.
Bless you.
Thank you. Very, very powerful businesswoman, and has caught Harley's eye of romance almost instantly. Harley's swooning over this person, but then
Full
Althea,
on lady boner.
yep, Althea,
And not afraid to say it either.
yeah. Althea then gets a little bit too cold with Harley, demanding that she leaves, and it's everybody else's fault, and yada yada, typical business gentrification nonsense. Harley gets a little pissed off and then storms out of there. Finds a place to live in the neighborhood and figures she needs to stay there and help it get better. Upon finding an apartment from a little nice old lady who lived in the neighborhood pretty much her whole life and remembers what Throat Cutter Hill used to be, along with her grandson, who now has romantic eyes for Harley. She now has that room for rent and opens up her own little agency called the Harley Quinn Destructive Agency. Her next step is now to tell people she's actually taking clients. Meanwhile, Althea now has asked some mysterious figure to bash Harley's face in, but just don't do it on the new carpets.
Not the new carpets.
Yeah, definitely not the new carpets. Those cost money.
They do cost money.
Yeah.
Especially nice carpet.
Exactly.
We just got a carpet for our living room like last week, and I can relate. I would be pissed if someone got blood on my new carpet.
Yeah.
Anywhere else in the house is fine, just not there.
Is it a white or cream colored carpet?
It's like a gray, and white blend.
Like a light. Oh, so it's a light gray. So yeah, that's still a pain in the ass to get out of. You get blood on any light color, that's gonna stain forever.
Yeah.
Man, you stained my rug, man.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why I'm like, if I get mugged, I'm like, beat me up anywhere in the house. That's fine. Just don't do it on the carpet. I don't want to pay for that.
I will give you this tip. If that creepy customer I helped in my first summer working at Home Depot was right, kerosene will get blood out of it.
Oh, okay.
Ammonia.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Ammonia breaks down the blood, and you can pad it up.
I feel like we need to unpack that story, but we can do that another time.
It's honestly a very the story, Benny. Guy came in, busy Saturday, middle of July. It's asking for the kerosene. I show him the kerosene. He's looking at it, then turns and asks me, "Does this get blood out of a mattress?" And I'm like, I don't know. And then I fucking left because I don't want to be an accomplice to whatever the fuck he's got going on.
I mean, it could be maybe cut his hand or something. You never know. But your first assumption is always.
I figure best case scenario, he's got a teenage daughter. Maybe she had her first period, had an accident, and he's got to fix it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you said, cut his hand, got some blood. I don't know why he's cutting things on his bed. That just leads to bad things. But
Hey, don't kink shame.
Look, you got blood on a mattress with a knife. I don't care what the fuck a kink is. You're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not one to kink shame, but that's fucked up.
Hey, guy.
I think it would come
There's
down.
a new show called It's Florida, man. And if you just please watch this, please watch episode 1. It will blow your mind. And
Really?
it's relevant to this conversation.
Is it? Because this happened in Canada.
It's kind of relevant to where the conversation went. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll check it out. But yeah, that's the last I ever saw that guy. I can only imagine he's in jail now.
You can only hope.
Yeah, I would hope. It's been 12 years. He still hasn't found me, so.
Well, it's a good thing you don't broadcast yourself on the internet.
Honestly, it was like it was either I say I don't know and walk away, or if I was feeling particularly witty that day, just say maybe if you burn it, which kerosene will help. But
yeah, just a bit, huh?
Again, I did not want to be an accomplice.
Yeah. Best to just GTFO.
Yep. But yeah, so that is Harley Quinn. Interesting little story. It feels a little weird going back to this kind of status quo after the grand adventure we already had. Reading the story, like, I don't hate the story. I don't think it's a bad story. I think it's a good story, but I'm realizing, like, there's only so many stories Harley Quinn could really fucking have unless we get another major change. Right? It just feels like Harley, after the last few creative teams, just repeating herself. If that makes sense. And
it does seem to kind of come back to the, maybe not so much with the Teenie Howard thing, but it's definitely like, oh, back to basics. Am I a hero? Am I a villain? That sort of thing. What is my purpose, to quote Avenue Q?
Yeah. Which great fucking show to quote. It's been 44 issues of the same, like, am I a hero or am I a villain? Like, can somebody figure it out?
Maybe that's what this is. We are supposed to go all in on it. Hopefully they do too.
Hopefully. I fucking hope so. The art I was not in love with. Certain panels definitely reminded me of BTOS Harley Quinn. Had a kind of style to it that reminded me of BTOS Harley Quinn. But for like a DC main series comic book, it just felt a little too cartoony for me. Which, again, it fits Harley perfectly. It didn't really mesh for me. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for now. I did forget to mention the new suit, new duds. Which you see on the cover there. She does create a new outfit, which is very detective style. And it looks good.
Okay, so here's my problem. Design. You guys heard how much I liked it at the beginning of this review. And I keep going back and forth, like, do I like it? Because I look at it and I see it feels like it's like really Punchline inspired.
I can see that.
Maybe with the like knee-high boots, but
yeah.
That's about it for me.
Doesn't Punchline also have lines going down with the diamond on it?
I think so, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe not. Anyway, I mean, it definitely isn't a hate it, or it's more of a like, do I love that thing or not? And as far as the story goes, man, it's like Rob said, it's Harley being Harley, 100%, both good and bad at the same time. They did set it up as to why Harley isn't around Poison Ivy right now. You know, that Harley Quinn can continue selling books under that title. It explains why they're not constantly together. I'm curious if that's gonna carry over into Poison Ivy. Guess I'll have to wait and see about that. But this is a kickoff. I enjoyed it. It's where we always end back up at Harley, but we always keep reading it too. So must be a reason for that. The art and colors are freaking great. I like this. It was cartoony, but not in a way that I didn't like. And even with this being the setup issue, I had a hell of a time. I'll give it an 8.25 out of 10.
Nice. Yeah, I gave this one a 7.5 out of 10. Like, the exact feeling I had finishing it was like, that was interesting. I don't know. I mean, it's not bad, but it's nice to have a story that's a little more grounded than the last run, because it kind of felt like it was getting off the rails towards the end, and I don't know what the fuck was going on. But at the same time, I'm kind of like
multi-dimensional vorpal fish.
Yeah, it just there's something about it that's like, I don't know. I like that it is more contained, but it's also kind of like, I hesitate to say it's boring because it's not, but maybe it is a little flat. The premise is just that Harley is going to fight gentrification, which sounds kind of funny. It certainly is something I'd like to see happen in real life, but I don't know. Maybe just because it's an introduction, it feels like it's still getting warmed up. But yeah, I kind of came away from this one. I was like, yeah, it's interesting, but I don't know if it's anything to really get super excited about. And I kind of agree with Rob on the art. There were some panels that I really liked, like each of the scenes where Harley crushes on Althea and then the grandson crushes on Harley. Like, that was executed well. All that stuff, all the like hyper exaggerated stuff worked, but some of it just looks as a little too exaggerated to the point where I don't know, I wasn't fully on board with it. So a little bit of a mixed bag to start, but I don't know, maybe there's potential there, who knows.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, maybe the next one will be a quick one, because we're going to speed on over to The Flash, number 14, brought to us by Josh. Oh boy, you're muted, bud. Josh, you're muted.
I am muted. Thank you very much. Written by Simon Spurrier, art by Vasco Georgiev, colors Matt Herms, lettered by Hassan Al-Smani Al-How, with the cover coming from Mike Diodato Jr. and João Canola, and Diodato being Robin Brandon's favorite artist. 2 weeks ago in the Arctic Circle, Green Lightsaber Guy is hiking through ice and snow to a cave he apparently knew was there. Going story, he apparently knew it was already there. He's looking for a promise to be fulfilled. He encounters a futuristic-looking knight that is riding a dinosaur outfitted with lasers. Duh.
How very atomic.
Now, Wally has scooped up his family to take them on a vacation to Skartaris, the magical underground world home of Travis Morgan, also known as Warlord. And if you haven't read Warlord,
what the fuck are you doing?
Oh my god. Well,
what are you doing with your life?
If you haven't read Warlord, that's okay, because it's kind of hard to find. But
right.
That's all the more reason to pre-order the Warlord Omnibus. I would say shameless plug, but we're not endorsed by DC.
Right.
But you should do that, because if it sells really well, they'll do more printings.
And it's really good. So anyway, a couple of days ago, okay, that was 2 weeks ago that happened with Green Lightsaber Guy going into the cave. Now, a couple of days ago, Wally had gone and set everything up to make sure everything would be safe, even checking on Iron Heights, who's got all of the escaped prisoners back except Weather Wizard. And now it's time to go to Barry's retirement party. While other powers returned or changed or traded, Barry's disappeared. And now he's retiring as the Flash. During the party, Wally...
I'm sure Josh is over the moon about.
I told you.
Finally, all of his dreams come true.
I said those are predictions. I mean, not necessarily dream. I hope he sticks
Oh,
around though.
haven't you also said like Barry should retire?
Yes.
Yeah,
And he did.
he did.
During the party, Wally gets the call from the watchtower, and what's weird is that it's from Skartaris and addressed to the Flash. That was the SOS, telling him about Weather Wizard and how he went there, and he's like all powerful. Wally's like, my wife is gonna be so pissed. Red Tornado basically says, "Tough luck, pal. We all want a nap." Redley.
Yeah, ready with the fuck you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, look,
So-
life is hard, buddy.
Yeah, you know what else is hard? Not having a body.
Right? I'm doing all this shit without with like a hologram head.
Yeah.
So Reddy leaves, but Pilgrim Wade pops in and says he has an idea. So that's why Wally brought them all on vacation here to
Vacation.
Skartaris. Tisk tisk.
Yeah.
Wally is confessing to Linda the whole
What a
mission
place
thing
to have
now
a
after his right. After getting a minor verbal lashing from his children, he decides he needs to fess up what he's doing to Linda. And he even changes into his new costume and back out. Suddenly, for some reason, they have a dog. Wally's rambling about how I don't understand the dog. Where did that come from? Wally's rambling about how he thought Weather Wizard is a safe enough threat that he even sometimes pulls good guy stuff. It would be a safe enough mission to take the whole family on. Quality family time. Minor threat villains.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would work in real life.
Dinosaurs.
Yes, in the land of fucking dinosaurs.
Uh,
Safe, like you said. And Linda, out of the blue, couldn't agree more. Irie isn't happy, though. In fact, she's so unhappy that she pickpockets Wally's Justice League card and then vibrates enough to match Wally's energy signature so she can boom tube to the watchtower. Of course, as soon as she gets there, the alarm goes off and the JL responds. Someone calls out, "Irie, you're supposed to be on vacation with your..." And it trails off. It seems that Wally is here for real. He's also in Skartaris for real. So how is Wally in two places at once? And how did Pilgrim Wade help him do it? I knew something big was happening. I kept saying it. These guys acknowledged it already. I was not expecting something this big to happen to both of them. I feel like something. I think Barry's going to be done, or at least done for a long time, and that makes me really curious about what's going to be happening with Wally. I know I got exactly what I said, but now I'm kind of scared. Anyway, Wally's powers are definitely evolving. Warlord coming in was pretty cool. I dig it. Certainly doesn't seem as deep or complicated as people thought the last arc was. I'm sure everybody agrees on that one. This seems a lot lighter than that anyway. This idea is cool. I hadn't noticed the little tributes to Barry's costume in it. This is less a tribute than it is a redesign of Barry's costume, actually. I think anyway. It's definitely distinctly his own,
They say
though.
that though, but I have a minor nitpick, but we'll get to that later.
I have
I'm
a
gonna do
major
my comic book
nitpick.
guy.
All right, that's the two of you guys. That's why they are they're the data center of the show.
I
I
always wanted to
wasn't.
be Data. I
There
love
you
Star
go.
Trek.
I was
Well,
on board with it the last time I saw it. I definitely don't have any issues with it now. I don't have a problem. It's fine. It's kind of cool if I let go of my preference of the Wally suit. It's great. The issue is this gets an 8 out of 10 for me.
Okay, I just have a minor thing about the costume, and then I'll talk about my actual feelings on this issue. But iRay says that, and that is, as the kids say, cap. That is false. That is incorrect, because yes, Barry has the open cowl, but Wally had the open cowl too, and
He
for
did.
many years, like, well documented, and did not
Yeah.
have that. At least to my knowledge, in tribute of Barry, it was just a redesign that came when Grant Morrison and Mark Miller had their brief run, and then he just kind of kept that suit all the way up until Flash Rebirth. But whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the only one who reads this shit anyway. Okay, so the actual issue, I know I've said that too many times. No, the actual issue is
Yeah, go
fun.
for it.
I do agree with Josh on quite a lot in that the previous arc, like I think there was a lot of potential in it. There was obviously some character stuff I didn't really like, but ultimately it felt a little too crazy to the point where you were kind of getting lost in everything that was happening. So this feels like a nice breather away from that, just a interesting story in Skirtaris with the mystery of how are there two Wallies, which I'm sure is connected to the vision of the two Wallies that we saw in issue 13. I slightly resent the fact that Wally still feels like he needs to lie to his family when felt like they'd kind of already resolved that in previous issue, but I don't know. Maybe that's something he's still got to work out.
His old habits
we'll
die
see.
hard, but he did just relent immediately when his kid called
He
him out
at
on
least fessed up, which I'm like, okay, baby steps, but you would think lying to your wife that many times would teach you not to do it, but I don't know. Maybe some people just never learn. But no, aside from that, I mean, it seems to be a fun premise, at least, and if it gets us to Skartaris, I'm all for it. I'm hoping we get the Warlord cameo in the next issue, or at some
Hell
point
yeah.
in this arc. That would be a lot of fun.
Or
So
if he was a part of the arc, and I mean, he's the one calling out. I have a feeling we may see him in more than one. It probably
Definitely.
more than a cameo.
I certainly hope so. That would be a huge letdown if not. And I also just realized that the mysterious wizard at the beginning of the issue was Weather Wizard, which I didn't pick that up until we got to the end of the issue. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, 8 out of 10. I love the art in this issue. Did a really great job. But aside from some minor character
can't-
stuff that I didn't love, it at least seems to be a fresh start to an arc that seems to be a little bit more grounded than the previous one.
Yeah. I feel like there's a trend going through this here with DC. All of the books are feeling a little more grounded.
Yeah,
Let's see if that trend continues.
no more craziness.
Yeah.
We'll leave that for Darkside Land.
Okay. I don't even want to complain. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
Yeah.
You wanted to complain.
I'm trying to do better. Okay. Okay, so the eye holes is one
Oh,
thing.
no.
Brandon covered that.
Yes,
The black seems heavily unnecessary.
yes.
The lightning bolt spike cowl ears, whatever the fuck you want to call them, the wings. Why are they so hilariously large?
Barry's originally wasn't it?
Not that big.
They
His
were
were
not
just
that
like-
long.
They were just wings that jutted out the side of his ears.
Yeah, these are like Kelly Jones Batman ears long.
Yeah.
Like, comically long.
Yeah.
It's like, look, there's 2 things that are important, like 3 things that are important in life: heroing, family, and accessorizing.
They almost look like, from the perspective of this cover, maybe not so much in the issue, but they almost look like antlers or handlebars on a bike. They're
yeah.
just so long.
I can run real fast with no handlebars.
But Wally's not going to be, running around like this.
No, why would he hold onto his own head like that?
I don't know. Or maybe it's when poor Nightwing has to ride on Wally's back and he doesn't want to put his arms over his chest, so he's like, okay, you can ride like this.
Hold on to my head.
Hold on to my head.
Quick, grab my hair.
I whip my hair back and forth.
I just think there was nothing wrong with Wally's previous costume. This doesn't feel like a necessary update.
So it's like
Yes.
not a bullseye.
So if you look at Batman and Superman when they had costume changes,
Uh-huh.
there were reasonable story beats as to why they had costume changes, right? When Batman updated for Rebirth, it's because he wanted to go back to something a little simpler, and also his previous costume was tattered to fucking shreds. So we got a new one, and we had the whole thing with 0 year, so they wanted to go back to a little bit of classic with the purple cape, and okay, it was nice. And then they brought it back to even older than that,
Year
like
one suit.
year
Because
one
he was
suit.
depressed.
Yeah,
after
he
left with the
wanted
altar.
just like very fucking simple, back to basics. Okay, like there was story beats to it. Same with Superman. Same
Emo
idea.
Batman.
What was the story reason here for the suit? I might have missed it. Do you guys know?
We haven't found out yet.
Okay,
No,
so
yeah.
it just it's
I'm hoping
overly
that's the case.
overly designed.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
A little too
Yeah.
flashy for you?
Not flashy enough. How can they call him the Scarlet Speedster when there's more black than Scarlet?
Hey, Barry was the Scarlet Speedster.
The Flash is the Scarlet Speedster.
Yes,
Wally
any
has
Flash
also
is the
been
Scarlet
called the
Speedster.
Scarlet Speedster.
Max Mercury isn't called the Scarlet Speedster.
But he was
He's
not
not
the
called the
Flash.
Flash.
Bart isn't called the Scarlet Speedster.
When he was the Flash,
He was when he. Oh my god. Okay. Rob and I are like echoing each other. It's like a delayed
If
reaction.
you wear the red Flash costume that Barry, Wally, Bart, and to a certain degree Jay has worn, you could be called the Scarlet Speedster.
You could
Max,
be, not you have been.
Blue, and White. They have.
They have. Jinx.
I prove it.
Okay, we will pull up the fucking issues.
No. Obviously, obviously you're right. I'm just fucking with you guys.
I know.
Typical.
Typical.
You jokester.
This kind of goldish magic or tech thing on the sleeve you see on the cover. Well, did
Yeah.
that appear in the issue yet? I'm very curious as to what the fuck that is.
I think it's part of the black parts. It's tied into it.
It's on the shoulders too.
I get that. Yep. It's tied into it, not just replacing the black parts. But I think it's got something to do with his new powers that we haven't seen yet.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would assume. I can't imagine them just throwing that much black in there for no reason.
Yeah.
Except like if when he's running, it turns all whatever that is, making it like super bright yellow all over the place. You know, like, hey, you remember those little cars as toys you used to get that if you pull them back to make them go forward, and when they went forward, they like flash like bright yellow. That'll be Wally.
Yeah, remember when the New 52 happened and they had weird ass lines all over the Flash costume, and when Barry ran, they glowed yellow?
Yeah, but that's different.
Is it?
It's not the same person drawing it.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. So apart from the costume, my only other nitpick is that they had people call the Weather Wizard a lame villain, and you're a fucking lame villain. Weather Wizard is at least mildly dangerous.
Not exactly the best of the rogues, I'd say.
No,
not anyone's
bad,
favorite of the
But
rogues.
he's nowhere near the least dangerous of the rogues either.
Do you guys get
That
the
is
feeling
true.
that Weather Wizard didn't get past 7th grade?
I always got the feeling he was like a mild meteorologist, but
yeah,
A
maybe
mild
something
he's a
like that.
weatherman.
I can't remember if it
mannered
was him or
meteorologist.
his brother or something. I thought it was
Yeah.
brother, because that's his backstory. Like his brother was a meteorologist. He was developing the weather wand, and then allegedly he had some part in his brother's death, and then took the weather wand and became the weather wizard.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But it wasn't him. He didn't come up with it. I feel like Weather Wizard makes a lot of bad decisions. He's not exactly the smartest of the rogues.
That
mean-
first costume was certainly not a good decision.
It
Yeah.
certainly wasn't. But guess what? This next issue has another costume as well.
It does. And the only person I can think of that likes to fight and stow chaos more than Josh is probably the star of our next book, Green Arrow.
Fight and cause chaos?
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
That makes me sound horrible. Thank you.
I just looked at the legacy number. It's also legacy issue 350 supposedly, so it's a bit of a bigger
Apparently.
issue.
Well, it really only has the extra backup,
Yes.
which I don't think will be a regular thing in the series after this issue. But
No. I mean, the backup is really just like a prologue to Chris Condon's series.
yeah. But anyway, Green Arrow number 17, the finale of Joshua Williamson's tenure on Green Arrow. I can hear the champagne bottle popping in the background of Josh's house as the day of jubilation has come. And Mr. Williamson is now leaving the title for greener pastures. Or maybe I should say
Other
G.I.
ones?
Joe pastures. I don't know. Something. I was trying to make a G.I. Joe joke. It didn't quite land. This issue basically sees Ollie tying up some
Be all he can
loose
be.
ends. What? What did you say?
I said he's leaving this book to be all he can be.
Yeah. Something like that.
U.S. Army slogan.
Anyway, this issue basically ties up some loose ends from Absolute Power and sees Ollie catch Peacemaker and Peace Wrecker and hopefully bring them to justice at some point. But of course, the duo are giving him some crap that he is a traitor and that the heroes will never trust him again, which gets Ollie to thinking that even though what he was doing was, for the greater good, certainly did betray his friends. They're not entirely wrong, and it's certainly going to be a lot of work for them to regain Ollie's trust. Also checks in with Waller and basically just lets her know that if she tries any of this shit again, he will come for her and he's not going to be pulling his punches. Definitely sounded like a if you try this again, I will kill you threat. Which hopefully, if Ollie ever gets to that point again, he doesn't get as depressed as he does in the Mike Grell run. But that's a story for another day. Finally, we check in at the Watchtower, where Ollie now has to face the music of the Justice League, who naturally are going to be a little upset towards Ollie's action. And so Ollie, in classic fashion, makes a big speech about everything that he did and saving the day. But in a very not surprising move for Ollie, basically says, yeah, I did what I did, but I'm not going to apologize for it because what I did was right. And if you guys want to be mad and kick me out of the Justice League, that's fine, but I don't regret a damn thing. And Ollie is getting ready for the judgment when Superman walks up and says, it's okay, we welcome you back. And everyone else, at least with the exception of Batman, seems to accept Ollie back into the Justice League.
That's also
But
not
his
surprising.
judgment... Yeah, that was surprising. But his judgment is not quite over yet, as now he has to face the music from the Arrow family, who, of course, are not very pleased with the fact that he just kind of left them there on the island and then also had them arrested and was not a very good mentor to the rest of them. But Connor is like, you know what, let's just let bygones be bygones and we'll go back to the island. But Ollie's like, not quite. I need to kind of go back to Star City and get myself regrounded and maybe spend some time away from the family. But you guys can all head back to the island and do your thing. And I have not so much a theory, but like a dream about what that scenario could be like, the Arrow family all on an island together. But finally, Ollie goes back to Star City and checks in on what Intergang, which I guess now is running a pharmaceutical company called Intermeds, is doing. And basically is like, I'm back, and if anyone tries to mess with me, I'll be there to give you punishment, basically. So Ollie is back in Star City doing what he does best, shooting arrows and kicking ass. That's our first story. Our backup story, which is very brief, so I'll keep this short. written by Chris Condon with art from Montos, who does an incredible job in this issue. Colors from Adriano Lucas and letters from Hassan Atsme and Elhau is, like Rob said, mostly just set up for the new run. Sees Ollie get a new costume, as well as a visit from a very unwelcome Dark Knight who basically just says, "We still don't trust you, but we want to, but also I'm going to be watching you." And get to see Ollie debut his new costume a little bit and complain about how Batman, as well as others, don't trust him, even though he saved all of their damn lives. And in between all of that, we get a new mystery about a man who is murdered by a mysterious serial killer who uses fresh water and has some kind of mysterious connection, or I guess you could say some kind of mysterious grudge against Horton Chemicals, which was very shocking to hear. So I dug this issue quite a lot. I found it to be a very satisfying conclusion to Joshua Williamson's tenure on Green Arrow. Gave us a nice little send-off for Ollie while also sticking true to Ollie's character and that he's not going to apologize for a damn thing. He's like, I did what I did, and if you're mad at me, so be it, but like, I would do it again. And I was like, of course Ollie would say that. He doesn't give a shit. And the backup story I thought was also really excellent and a great setup to what I hope is going to be a pretty cool murder mystery in the new run, as well as really showcasing Chris Condon's handle on Ollie's voice. So all around, very pleasant anniversary issue and a solid conclusion to the bulk of Joshua Williamson's run on Green Arrow. So I gave this one an 8.5 out of 10.
I 100% agree. It was a nice little cap off to the series, nice little epilogue to the story, a very nice preview to the new creatives team and the new story going forward. Joshua Williamson just keeping Ollie in exactly where he's been, personality-wise, with what you said with the League, starting off with like, all right, I know what I did. I'm sorry for what I did. But you know what? Fuck you. No, I'm not sorry for what I did.
Fuck you. I'll do it again. And I saved your lives.
Exactly.
No one even said thank you.
Exactly.
Eat a dick.
I'm talking to you, bats.
Yeah.
Ollie would say that shit making eye contact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
You bat fascist. You batshist.
Like you've never spied on people.
Yeah.
Lest we forget that big ass satellite you had in the sky like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Or, like the safe full of shit that can kill all of us.
Yeah.
You're one to talk.
Remember the Tower of Babel, Bruce?
Yeah.
Do you?
Well, maybe he doesn't because he was dead, but anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I'm sure someone filled him in, and he was like, of course Batman would do that because he's a dick.
Yeah.
Makes all of the sense.
But, so in addition to that is also, what was it?
I don't know.
Ah, shit. The thought was on my mind, then it just disappeared.
Poof.
Yeah.
When that happens.
Oh, yeah. Joshua Williamson bringing us back to the end of the Green Arrow Rebirth series with the mysterious box that Martian Manhunter gave him. I'll be honest, I still don't quite understand what it was.
Yeah,
but at least he acknowledged that it happened, because every other fucking writer in existence had just chosen to forget about that entire moment.
I feel like he's always wondered what it was too, so he like picked it up and threw it in his story so it was there, and maybe somebody else will do it.
Maybe, and I hope. But like he also
right?
He kind of made it seem like the arrow he fired at the Amazos was part of it.
That's true.
But if I remember right,
Ollie's got an upgrade.
The arrow that he fired at the Amazo, the tip of the arrow was a device that Batman created, wasn't it?
I thought it was like the what was it? It was the Time Commanders, like
Yeah.
hourglass or whatever. That
Yeah. So I mean, so I guess we still don't really know what was in that box, but at least Joshua Williamson
yeah.
acknowledged it, and I'm happy somebody fucking acknowledged it. And maybe, just maybe, he's put it out there so somebody else can pick it up one day. Maybe we'll know
Right.
what was in the box. But I think at this point, he's revealed to the Justice League that he was even given it by Martian Manhunter. I think
Mhm.
that's acknowledgement enough. We don't need to know what was in the box at this point. I think I'm more so just annoyed at the way that Rebirth series ended. The box was empty, and it started glowing. And then what happened? I want to know, but no.
We'll never know.
That's never going to happen again. No, I
I
like
don't
the
know,
issue.
man.
I like the issue. I really like the art. I thought it was a nice cap off to the run. And just finishing it off with Ollie saying, I'm back. Like, yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Oh yes.
Yeah, just get yourself grounded and back to basics with like, okay, it's me, a hood, some bow and arrows, and some bad guys. After all the shit I've been going through, I just need a little simple right now. Like, I get that. I completely get that. Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Just like recharge yourself a little bit. It's a little bit of personal therapy, you know. I like it.
You know what? Yeah, I saved your ass. Fuck you guys. I every time I hang around with you, you know what I do? I die. I'm tired of this shit.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah.
Right? Tired of this shit.
So
I ain't got no
I'm
time for this.
exactly. I'm going to give honestly, I'll give it a 9. I forgot I was writing down my scores. Yeah, I'm giving it a 9. I fucking liked it.
I'll tell you, I like this a whole lot more than the rest of the art. But as well as with the preview to come, he did a fantastic job in this issue. Getting back to his roots is cool, especially with a new look about him. I dug it. I'm actually looking forward to this, and it won't be hard to look at either. It's another new costume this week, but again, I liked it, no doubt at all. I think, and I've always said, you take Williamson away from the capes, and he's an excellent writer. Here, he did it to himself. Not only did he tie up plot threads, but he even said, "Hey, don't forget about this one." He didn't know what to do with it, or maybe didn't have enough time to, do anything with it. But it's there, and it's not forgotten anymore, at least for a little bit longer. I give it an 8.25 out of 10.
Hell yeah. I am pleasantly surprised.
Actual praise. Or
You think you're
Joshua
surprised?
Whoa. Now I've seen everything.
Like,
Yeah.
I finished this issue this morning, and I'm thinking, what nonsense is Josh going to come up with to hate this? Because that was fucking good. I'm
That last
excited
page alone
to
is
find out
If you
what
hate
could
that,
pull. Yeah, I'm
you're
excited to
evil.
find out what you could possibly dislike, and I'm pleasantly excited and happy to find out you didn't hate it. Because, like, honestly,
No,
this
I
was a
enjoyed
really
it. It
good
wasn't
issue.
even didn't hate. This he did an excellent job on.
Yeah.
And
It
You
was
know.
a Joshua Williamson ending that was satisfying.
yeah, it comes so completely unexpected.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
so
right.
a little epilogue. And the fact that it was the Legacy 350 as well, like an anniversary issue, I didn't even realize that until you pulled the cover up on the screen there. Like, okay, that feels like a bit, like it makes a bit more sense.
Right. It's hey, everybody seems to be getting down to the nitty gritty, going back to basics, and doing it with a new set of digs. What about up next here with Superman number 19, Rob? You want to carry us through that one? I was trying to come up with a
Well.
transition, and I completely blanked out.
You did a great job.
Yeah,
Yes.
obviously.
Yeah.
Then let's go ahead
Well.
and do so.
Speaking of new digs and new costumes,
Mama Pop
judging
Super Shop.
by the cover, you can see
The Mama Pop Super
Um,
Shop.
exactly. Also, yeah, I forgot I was going to mention. My hope for Joshua Williamson's G.I. Joe series is that at the end of each issue, he has a PSA. Just like
PSA.
just like a
Yes,
one-page capper to the story. It doesn't have to do anything with the actual issue. Just like
At all.
have a GI Joe character at the end, just like a 1-page epilogue, and
About
knowing is
personal
half the
safety,
battle.
or it's like yes, that
Yeah,
should
public
be
service
in
announcement.
all of them.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. Just do
PSA.
like a little safety thing for the kids potentially reading this book. And like, yeah, gotta let them know.
And remember, kids, drugs are very bad, and you shouldn't ever try them. And if someone says they're good for you, they're lying.
Yeah, and now I know. And knowing is
And
half
now
the
you
Is
know.
battle.
half the battle.
Exactly. I just hope he does that. I really fucking do. Just a
That would
little
be
fun
excellent.
little thing. Yeah. Josh, are
Would be
you
excellent.
gonna check that out? The GI Joe or
When I shrink down my reading list a bit, I'm really working on it, so we'll see.
fair enough?
Because I would like to give it a shot.
Yeah.
I gave the rest of it a shot. I wasn't a fan of Duke, but everything else is that I've seen is pretty decent. So, which is only number one of Scarlet and number one of Destro. So,
I finished Scarlet. I got to catch up to Destro. I've read like one issue so far. But quite honestly,
Yeah,
like, so far, I think Duke might have been my favorite of the 4 minis.
Mine's probably Cobra Commander, then Duke, then Destro, then Scarlet. And Scarlet is really good. So
Yeah,
that's
Scarlet
not an
was
insult.
really, really good. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot fucking Cobra Commander. Okay,
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah. Scarlet might have been my second favorite.
Mm.
I got to finish Destro before I could really pass it, like give it a grade.
Yeah.
Cobra Commander was okay for
Mm.
me.
I love villains, so that was like right up my alley.
Yeah. I mean, I had an interesting
What does that
backstory.
say
a
about
lot of
Brandon?
interesting backstory.
I don't know. I don't want to unpack that. Probably something dark inside me.
Save that for another story.
no.
Yeah.
All right,
No.
so we'll get into the issue, starting with the end, which is literally right at the top of the issue. The very first panel just says "the end."
The end.
Quickest
At
comic
the end
book
of time.
ever.
Okay, we're done. All right.
I'm reading it backwards.
Yep,
Read
I
this
gave
like
that a
manga.
5 out of 10. I didn't feel fulfilled with it at all. The art was like nearly non-existent for me.
I mean, like there was very little story, but I liked the art.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was bold and adventurous, so I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
Emphasis very much bold. I'll give it an emphasis on bold.
Yes, that was so good.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of Joshua Williamson, this is written by Joshua Williamson, with art
Wow.
and the cover.
Double dose of Williamson this week.
Exactly.
Josh
From
is
Dan
so
Mora.
excited.
Uh,
Yeah.
I was hella happy going into this. Oh boy.
Yes, the gloriously beautiful interiors and the cover from Dan Mora. Colors from Alejandro Sanchez and letters from Ariana Maher. This story is titled The Many Deaths of Doomsday. We've had Doomsday kind of teased all fucking year, and we're finally getting to a Doomsday story. And here we are. The end starts at the end of time with the Time Trapper trapping Superman in a ball of fire, which is at the end of time. He has outlived everybody, and it's only him and Time Trapper left at the end of time and all existence. Which, I'll be honest, with the amount of time traveling stories we've read, where they've all gone to the end of time,
Yeah.
the end of time's becoming fairly fucking crowded.
They're only there once in a moment, like one at a time. What's happening off panel that you don't see is that there's a ticket machine.
What's happening off panel that you don't see is 5 different versions of Booster Gold,
Right.
Hunters, a Wave Rider,
Monarch.
yeah, Parallax.
Extant.
Oh God. And effigy.
The Linear Man. Everyone.
Yeah. A Starbucks and a Twinkie.
Oh no.
There will
Yeah,
be a
a
Starbucks
Twinkie.
at the end of time.
Yep.
And
somewhere.
And a Twinkie.
And a Twinkie.
McDonald's French fries in your backseat.
And a waffle.
Yeah.
That's
Which
it.
is Would that
It's like nothing has happened.
How
It's
would, like-
millions, billions, trillions of years beyond the present, and people are still working in Waffle House like time's not passed at all?
Right? Yeah. We're
How-
checking in to see if it's the end of the universe, and there is still 3 Waffle Houses open. Earth is
Oh,
alive.
Man,
Which, this
The
also
power of
reminds
breakfast.
me of a Futurama joke.
which one?
The episode with Beck and
Oh,
Bender joins the band, and then the
Yeah.
others like road trip with him. They become groupies, and they get the old like
The van.
the
Yeah.
VW van, and Farnsworth goes, "Where's the device that slows and stops the passenger time?"
I
And
know.
Fry pulls out a bong and says, "It's in the back seat."
He's
I'll
not
tell you-
wrong.
Yeah.
We've been watching them in sequential order ever since
Uh-huh.
Holly realized that I hadn't seen Futurama, which she took as much offense to it as
Ooh.
you guys did.
Travis.
So we've been sitting here, and I mean, there's some good laughs in it, and I finally got to this episode that was about a wishing machine, and Leela wishes that she would less predictable or some shit.
Oh, okay. No, it's the what if machine.
Yeah, the what
Oh,
if
right,
machine.
right.
Yeah. This thing is not worth the gold it's made out of. The thing longer. Yeah. Yeah.
That was an excellent episode, and I laughed my ass off through the whole
Yeah.
thing, man. It was good. I mean, as
That's-
much as I do to a cartoon, anyway.
At 3:35, I found my first clue, and 2 hours later, at 3:35, I realized the clock was broken.
Genius.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next, she's sitting there eating seafood.
Yeah.
Give something to Fry.
Hey, Fry, want some lobster?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I
Scruffy's
really
gonna
like
die
it.
the way Scruffy lived.
Lord
Yeah.
All right. Absolute Superman, not here, but the first one is, right?
I mean, the first Superman. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Superman.
the Ocean. Okay.
Yeah. Best one I had. Trying
All
to
right.
steer it
Fair
back
enough,
on
fair
course.
The absolute Superman, the subpar Superman.
Kinda? No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know yet.
Yeah,
Sure,
we don't know
come
yet. All right, so back in the present day, in Metropolis, Lois is busy doing editor-in-chief stuff, while Jimmy is trying to catch up with her to show off potential photos he has for the front page. Nothing eye-catching, as she reveals, look, there's only one photo I want, and he goes, yeah, but like nobody's able to get it. Like I'm kind of feeling off my game because not even I'm able to get it. It's like I don't care. Get me photos of Superwoman. And then we hear an explosion off in the distance, and Lois overhears things in the distance. We need backup, and that's when you realize she has super hearing. So she hurries off to the broom closet while telling people I have a meeting. So many meetings, out of my way. She goes to the broom closet and sees Clark. They greet each other hello, and they both tear their shirts open. Not for extramarital affairs at work, but to become the super couple, which is what most married couple do in a broom closet.
Right. I'm about Super Shop. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
They fly off through the Daily Planet out into the city to go figure out what the problem is, and it's the Atomic Skull, who once again has gone back to a potential life of crime. And once again, Superman said, I thought you were better than this. You moved on. And he's like, no, I haven't.
Why do you keep forgetting that he keeps doing this?
Mercy, meanwhile, at Supercorp Tower, has the theory that maybe all this shit going on, well, the scientists at Supercorp Tower tell Mercy that maybe all this shit going on with the power swapping around has affected his mind, and he's just a little confused about shit. Also, he has atomic-powered pets, which probably also were a direct cause of the power swapping after Absolute Power. Um, they are monitoring Lois's vital signs as her newfound superpowered abilities, or Kryptonian abilities, are very untested still, and trying to figure out just what the extent possibly is and any long term effects that could happen. She is absorbing solar radiation, but they don't know to what degree and if it's the same as Clark's. There should be somebody watching the post on Superman's vitals, which is supposed to be Lena Luthor, but she's not there because she's busy with her dad, showing him footage of his past self to see if anything jogs his memories. Nothing does. She has to hurry off to work after she's yelled at through her communicator. And then Lex says, "It's such a nice day. Maybe I'll just take a walk through the city." Um, while Atomic Skull is blowing the shit out of it. Yeah. We jump back to the super couple, and Lois is kind of tussling with the atomic powered dogs, but then says he's so cute and wants to keep one because superheroes.
Well, Wally just got
Maybe
one.
it's pretty cute. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but-
If
Well,
you
Wally's looks like an
pass
actual
the
dog.
burning plant, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Ghost Rider, Jimmy arrives on a motorcycle. And he's determined to get that picture, but as the couple hear Jimmy arriving, they fly off just as he gets there, leaving Jimmy frustrated and maybe a little sad that once again he's not getting the fucking photo Superwoman, which kind of a dick move from Lois. Tells him, "I want photo Superwoman," meanwhile she is Superwoman and she doesn't want.
He's got to
I
make
guess
it
she's got
work
to
harder
keep up
for it, you know?
appearances, but it's not fair. She
Giving
doesn't
him
even have a
something to do.
disguise. Go
Right.
do a job somewhere else. I don't know.
She doesn't have a mask or anything. She still looks like Lois Lane in the face.
Exactly. It's kind of not helping. Right. So now the couple have flown off and they're just talking over the powers and everything, and they've had a lot of great adventures together. We see they've had quite a few things going on as a couple, and it's pretty cool. But then they hear a break-in at a nearby bank, or at least they think it's a bank, but it's more of a fire, because this destruction and fire was caused by apparently Doomsday. He's broken out of hell, um, and he's ready to just wreck some shit. As Superman and Lois square up together, and they're about ready to take the fight to Doomsday and hope that they could both come out of it as surviving. Time freezes. Clark looks around and, using his vision, his X-ray vision, finds time has stopped, and it is the Time Trapper.
Of course.
Yep. Time Trapper reveals that you are destined to live forever, and everybody you know and love will wither away and die. But this moment right here is a very important point in time that you need to do things the right way. In fact, I need you to do it the right way to help me, as we have fought many times before, and I have died many times before, once at your own hands, back when you knew me as Doomsday. And Time Trapper takes off his hood and reveals a very skinny, very old, very wise Doomsday.
I'm
Really
gonna call him Skinny D.
Skinny D. Really weird looking design for Doomsday, but it's cool because Dan Mora drew it.
Yep.
Yep. And then you get a Coming to Superman and DC All In kind of primer, which basically just gives you questions that you already know. Like, how did Lois Lane get her superpowers? What sinister secret does the Time Trapper hold? When will strike a future of horrors, aka Darkseid's Legion of Superheroes? And good luck beating this guy, Doomsday. So, I didn't know much about Time Trapper because, as I did my research, I found out he was primarily a Legion villain. So I really didn't know anything about that. And I looked into Time Trapper and I'm like, how the fuck is this Doomsday? Right? So apparently, and Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, this is just according to the wiki, Time Trapper, his identity was never truly divulged. But Brainiac 5, sometime after 0 Hour, had the theory that as the times shift and reality changes, so can Time Trapper himself, and that every time they've encountered the Time Trapper, while he does retain the memories of everything that happened prior to the time changes, Time Trapper could have actually shifted bodies or identities as well.
Which is why there is a version of Time Trapper that I believe is Superboy Prime that you see at
Oh,
the
no
end of
shit.
Legion.
Okay, I did see
Legion of
something
Free
about
Worlds.
Superboy Prime, but I couldn't see
Yeah.
what that was.
So the idea is that the Time Trapper identity is fluid, so it's never just
Yeah.
one person.
Okay, so yeah, that's fair. So this version of Time Trapper is Doomsday, which I think is quite interesting.
Yeah.
The whole
Skinny
concept
deep.
that every time Doomsday dies and he's reincarnated, he evolves a little bit makes sense. I think that's been a thing from the get go. This whole thing is evolution and being an unstoppable force over time. So my question is, how does he go from that unstoppable monstrous force to the skinny wise time trapper that we see before us? That's
Evolution.
a hell of a lot of evolution. That's a lot of death.
Yep.
Yeah.
He died a lot.
He
But then,
died a fucking
evolution
lot.
made him smart and shit.
Hey, have it for
Wise,
Solomon
even.
Grundy. At least one time, anyway. That's the stuff with Lois. We'll have to see still because we don't really know. It's seemingly an ongoing mystery that we'll have to see unravel slowly. Um, I think it'd be simple enough. She gained the powers from Absolute Power, but it looks like they're kind of hinting that maybe there was another reason outside of Absolute Power. We'll have to see. It's interesting. It's curious. I like it so far for a technically first issue of a new story beats. I'm kind of honestly taking everything post Absolute Power as like a new starting point, even if it's the same creative team. Jumping in with All In, jumping on point. It's a nice, fresh little arc that I think could lead to some very interesting stuff.
Almost like a soft reboot. I agree with you.
Yeah, basically.
It's a take on Doomsday that we've never really seen before, and I'm very curious to see how it pans out. And it's Dan Mora drawing. You can't hate the fucking art. Dan Mora, I'll be honest, might be the best current comic artist.
I actually have an opinion on that, but
I said might.
Definitely my top 5. Definitely my top 5.
I'll say arguably.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he's in my top 5.
Yeah, like we have Zermanico and Montos will put in my top 5 as well, but among many others, Jorge. But like Dan Moore is definitely up there. I think there's a solid argument to put him at least in the top 2 of current comic artists.
Mm.
I hope that's not a hot take.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So,
although I don't know, current may be a little of a misleading title. It has been around for a while. I get to be one of those obnoxious people that was like, I knew Dan Morrow was posting fan art on Twitter long before he was doing anything in DC. And no one knew who he was. But that doesn't mean anything.
you can feel accomplished even a Dan Moore fan.
It can feel accomplished.
Basically,
in
his whole career.
Yeah.
I feel that way about Arctic Monkeys. I jumped on the Arctic Monkeys scene when they had their first album, and like they slowly became more popular.
Up.
Yeah. I was like, I was listening to them from the first album. When did you start?
Oh my god!
Not like I would
total
actively
hipster.
use it to gatekeep. It's just one of those things where I can be like,
I feel special.
I feel special.
Y'all should have listened to me 5 years ago when I told you this was good.
Day 1-ish.
Yeah, exactly. Now this issue I'm giving an 8.75 out of 10.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
You really think it deserves that?
I do. I don't know if you do.
It's this definitely isn't absolute Superman, but it is a totally different direction for Superman. It's at least his world. Um, a lot of different stuff is changing, I think. We've got Doomsday who died in hell and then punched his way free, adapting every time he died as he did, as Doomsday does, looking big and badass as ever, now infused with hell for a limited time only, available for $19.99 plus tax, shipping, and handling. We have what is Doomsday from the future, kind of wasting that. He's wasting away. And I think we had a time traveler back then as well. I think so the title of this arc is scaring me a little bit, and we have Doomsday saying we need to stop something horrible from happening. Doomsday looking like damn near unstoppable, and constantly being told we have no idea how strong Lois really is. Could we be looking at Lois getting really messed up by Doomsday?
It definitely looked like she was ready to throw down right before
Yeah.
time trap time.
It sure did. But
I mean,
does
no
it
way
mean
she was
she's
gonna let Clark
going
fight
to
alone.
win?
No. And
What
plus, you had
happens
that
if
flashback
Doomsday?
to the death of Superman, so she probably has some PTSD from that day, and she's like, "Oh, I'm about to kick this guy's ass."
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, is this about to happen to her?
Well, the difference, like, it's not her fighting him alone, and her whole thing is like Clark went toe to toe with Doomsday alone last time, and he paid the ultimate price. So she doesn't want him to go it alone. I think if they have both of them, there's a better chance of neither of them dying from it.
Yeah.
How many times do you think Doomsday died in hell, man?
Well,
Look at him.
I mean Clark and Lois. There's less of a chance of Clark and Lois dying from it. Doomsday is gonna fucking die. Like he's we know that because we see the time trapper. But I mean, like, if Clark and Lois fight together, there's less of a chance that either of them will die fighting Doomsday.
Less of a chance. I'm just saying, there's a possibility Lois could be dying.
There's a possibility.
Williamson did it
I hope not,
this
though.
week again in this issue. Got me really interested where this is going to go, like really interested. Now to pull it off, that would be really good. 8.25 out of 10.
Damn.
Nice. I wish I had more to add other than just I also like Dan Mora's art. Wow, what an original opinion. No, it's great. It's
good shit,
the
man.
Start of, it's good shit, man. It's the start of a new arc. It feels exciting. It's got a great hook at the end, and the mystery of how Lois became Superwoman. Honestly, that for me is like, I'm excited for the Doomsday stuff, but I want to know the backstory of how she got her powers, and also that suit, because I think I mentioned on the podcast or somewhere else, but that suit is very reminiscent of the suit that Lois wears on her birthday in All-Star Superman when she has powers for a day. And I'm just like, I don't know, is going to be some kind of meta reference to that? Probably not, but that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it might just be more of like Dan Moore doing an homage.
Yeah.
And like that factoid is like the only reason I don't hate this suit. Right?
Really?
Like
I actually like it. I think it matches
I like it
Superman
even
perfect.
Without
I
the
do
homage.
too, yeah. I don't think it's a bad suit. I think it's a well-designed suit. I'm just thinking about where the rest of the family is right now. Everybody else is wearing leather jackets. I'm wondering why isn't Lois?
No capes.
Mom and Pop of the Super Shop don't wear the leather jackets. That's for the kids.
Fair enough. She could at least have red trunks.
What? No.
Superman wasn't allowed to wear red trunks. Or not wear red trunks. I mean,
well, the secret is that
on.
those are compression trunks, and he has to wear them for a reason.
What reason is that?
Only Lois knows.
Whatever could you mean?
See, like
Figure it out.
Don't
Figure it out.
don't ask me how I know this. It just kind of came across my Reddit feed before the show. Is he like Willem Dafoe?
Yeah,
Okay.
he must be.
Brandon, I don't know if you know that little fact.
I
about
did not
Hollywood,
get
but-
that at all.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever watch The Lighthouse?
I did.
Did you know he had a peg leg?
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, remember that fucking intense weird ass
Yeah.
scene? Boy, am I
Yeah.
glad I saw that.
Yeah. No, there was a movie that I came across on Movie Details, and apparently there was a movie that Willem Dafoe did. I don't remember what it was called or what year it was made, but there was a nude scene, and he was so well endowed, the crew just were in such shock and awe and kind of confused that they had to get a stunt double for his nude scene.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to feel about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Goddamn
good for
you.
him, I guess.
Yeah.
To a point. Alrighty.
Yeah. That's enough talk about crotches.
It really is. How did we do a Donald Trump speech just now?
We're losing it.
Oh, God.
Arnold Palmer, who? Detective Comics
God.
number 1090,
Speaking
written
of,
by Tom
of
Taylor.
someone who should not or did not have their. I was trying to do like a joke about his genitals being censored, but my brain.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Speaking of being too well endowed for public
Yeah.
consumption.
There you go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Written by Tom Taylor with lettering from Wes Abbott and everything else from Mikkel Janin.
Can I just pause you for a second? That reminds me of a fucking show. I'm just goddamn name comedian. This whole thing about being more tired than a big dick bat. Because when they hang upside down, just gets you don't need the visual.
And now you've got me thinking about it.
Yeah, like you'll be
It's
thinking about
like
that for the rest of the week.
Every time it flaps, it drops a little lower in altitude.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
that's the fucking great bit. Just next time you go to work, just like boss ass. So how was your weekend? Oh man, I'm more tired than big dick bat, and just like, I mean I get it, but what? Huh?
What? What did you just say?
Yeah.
I'm Batman. So Batman and man there is tied to a chair. He's tied there as a gift for Batman from a shark-clawed mystery man that knows his identity as Bruce. Before he leaves, he tells Bruce not to make the same mistake that his father made. The flashback comes, explaining what that is, and it's Thomas Wayne saving the life of a man that abused his wife so badly that the wife was willing to give up her baby just to save it from him. Luckily, Martha Wayne, financier of many charities, let her know that she can help both of them. We find out that this is a serial killer. This mystery bad guy has killed a total of 9 now, counting murdering the one that they considered a gift for Bruce. This last murder, Bruce can smell a trace of white musk, a perfume. Batman takes it hard that he wasn't able to keep up and catch the killer, wasn't able to stop this from happening. And now we're with Bruce at a celebration, but one he actually doesn't mind going to. A girl that grew up in the Wayne shelter that has gone on to be one of Wayne Tech's best geneticists, and then got some financing and went into business for herself in a wellness company. So, similar to what's going on in Catwoman, funny enough, but probably not related. They ditch the party and head to the place of business, where she says she believes some lives are worth more than others. Of course, Batman's thinking, no, that ain't right. Bruce sees the proof of the medicine, though, that seems to actually having a slight reversing of aging. He sees proof of it in a pair of billionaires, and his recent run-in with his old age sure is making that serum look good, for the benefit of mankind. While we're getting to the flashbacks of Dr. Thomas Wayne, we see conversations with Bruce as well. He explains that they have no idea what a life is actually worth, so you can't weigh one against the other. If possible, whenever possible, you save the life. Even if it's a man so evil that the mother of the child wouldn't name her baby, trying to lessen any attachment that she had to her. You save the life, even if the life of the abusive prick belongs to none other than Joe Chill. Whoa!
What? What? What?
What? No way.
What the fuck?
I like this, man. It's something that I've been calling for a while now. We're all finally acknowledging that Batman has to be breaking down. With this perfect body serum, he could do so much more as Batman. And he seems to be really tempted to take it. So, also, by the way, I have decided my order now goes Mikkel Janin, Jim Lee, Dan Mora, Dexter Soy, Jorge Jimenez Zermanico, and then Ryan Sook. Okay, back to the book.
Of current artists, Mikkel Hanin is your top pick?
Yep, sorry. I love his
Oh my
work
God.
so much.
It is really good stuff.
Him, then Jim Lee, and then Dan Mora.
I think you might be the first person on the planet to put Dan Mora above Jin Lee, but okay.
Let's wait
To
and
put-
see how Jim Lee's Batman looks next year before we finish that list.
Okay. Anyway, back to the book. I found no flaw in Janet's work anyway. This story is lining up to be dynamite from what I have been seeing. It's a regular Batman story, and it's got some meat on them bones. 9 out of 10. Oh, and here, that's the Detective Comics. My bad.
That's a damn good cover.
It really is a damn good cover. I can't believe it didn't flip it. That's gorgeous. More of that white background.
I think he's definitely at his, well, I'll say second best when he's coloring his stuff. I still think Jeremy Cox is the best color that Mikkel Hanin has ever had. I know you didn't like Grayson, but the art.
Oh, I didn't have a
that's
problem
like
with the art.
That's the best I've ever seen it, and that's just because he uses a really vibrant palette. But art aside, great start, great debut.
Gorgeous.
I want to say I had low expectations. Sorry. I'm laughing at the video Rob sent. I don't want to say I had low expectations for Tom Taylor's run. I didn't have any expectations, to be honest. Like, I enjoyed the ending of Nightwing. There's some flaws in the run, but overall, not a bad run. So I was kind of going into this like, well, let's just see what happens. But strong start, another great hook at the ending. Definitely enough to get me to be like, whoa, okay, I want to see where this goes. And I like that there is that temptation Bruce faces of, should I drink from the fountain of youth? Should I look for this mysterious medical miracle, or should I just keep being old? And
Is this the only way that I'll be able to help?
yeah.
Yeah. That we're still keeping on this whole concept of Batman aging and coming to terms with his body and his own mortality is such an interesting facet of his character now. That has been like how many creative teams since this started happening, and people are still on the ball with it, and they keep finding new and inventive ways to like bring him to that.
I asked for it and they gave it to me.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm kind of like, okay, you're old, like. We get it. I don't know. It's an interesting plot thread. I think it works here because he's faced with the choice of, do I take the easy way out for quote unquote the good of mankind to be a younger, more efficient Batman like I was when I started, or do I just continue to age gracefully and not look for some kind of easy way out? Which I think is it's a good philosophical question.
You're a corporate businessman. You know what? Sometimes things have to be phased out because it's too old to keep up. I love that they are addressing the age. I love that
I
they
wouldn't know.
are.
I'm young.
Shut up. I love that they're addressing that his age. They are backing off of the main characters a little bit, perhaps, and addressing some of them things. Barry retiring, Batman facing this quagmire of a decision. Um, I am really all in.
Now,
Haha.
Uh,
I'll
I
save you from the rim shot.
I gotta
Yeah.
ask, as much as this is a very enticing way to continue the whole idea of Batman aging, you gotta wonder, is this Tom Taylor's way of bringing in a logical way for Batman to be younger and stronger again, so they can kind of
I-
phase out of this aging storyline? Because
I think
to a certain
that
degree, where does that end?
it's gonna
I
be
think- I
it's
think
gonna be an
that's-
emotional one, regardless.
Yeah, I think that's the temptation, but
Yeah.
I don't know. If I had to guess, and I could be wrong, it'll be I understand that I could be better, but it's more important for me to just age, and when I can no longer be the best Batman there is, I'll pass the mantle on to someone else.
Yeah.
Right.
But
I've
that'll
got the
never happen.
Batgirls and
But-
Red. Well, I've got the Batgirls and I've got Tim Drake and I've got Red Hood, Bluebird's out there. I mean,
Mhm.
Nightwing and the Titans are very close by, so it's like I can fucking go fishing now.
Yeah.
Fish.
I think I liked that when I was a kid.
Yeah. I mean, in this issue, they had him not even able to catch a 17-year-old on foot because he's had more knee surgeries than the kid has knees, which I thought was a great line. But
Right? Yeah.
With that,
I felt
like,
that
that's-
shit.
that's not even just a Batman aging; that's a Batman breaking down.
Yep.
Right? How is Batman going to fight gods and monsters and demons if he can't even catch a 17-year-old on foot?
He's not going to be
That's
able
fair.
to. That's the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
thing.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Like, does this give us a new Batman, or is this going to be wrapped up with the serum? I think, regardless, I think we know it's going to get wrapped up with the serum, but I think it's going to be a good story along the way.
Yeah, I think you're right. And hell, there is quite the good story because there's a mystery dating back to his father, and there's a lot more.
His dad saved the life of the man who would eventually kill him and his wife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blew my fucking mind.
Right.
Although I really,
the only
I don't
question
know.
I've got is does Bruce find out about that, and how does it make him feel?
Yeah, I really hope they don't go down the route of Joe Chill killed Thomas Wayne because Thomas helped his I guess underage lover and their unborn child escape. That would be such a ridiculous retcon.
I'll be honest,
I
I
really
didn't
hope
I
they
didn't
don't do
make
that.
that connection that Joe Chill was the girl's like abuser. I
Yeah,
thought
well, they
I thought that was
mentioned
just
that
a
at the-
different case.
Yeah, no,
Nope.
they mentioned that at the beginning of the issue that like he was the one that was beating her, and that's why
Yeah.
Thomas at first is the other doctor is like, you can just let him die, you don't have to just let
Yeah.
this one go.
he
And
says
he's
it a
like,
couple times. He's like,
Yeah.
poke, dude.
he's like, I mean, if you don't perform surgery, he's probably not gonna make it. So if you want to catch those Z's, you don't have to operate on him tonight. But
Right.
obviously, Thomas does the right thing.
My question is that if the doctor was going to say, we can just let him die, why even bother waking Thomas? Like, hey, I know
Yeah.
you've been up for 12 hours to 14 hours performing surgery, and you were just getting to sleep 2 minutes ago, but hey, can you come take a look at this patient and let him die? You can go back to sleep.
Well, I guess maybe because Thomas probably would have found out if he had died, and
Yeah, that's
that
true.
would have been more complicated. Like, why didn't you wake me? I could have operated. It could have saved the man's life. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. That's true. That's very true.
Like, I don't know, man. I came over. I yelled at you. I mean, I knocked on the door, came in, I yelled at you. I even farted. You would not wake up, man.
That would have been funny though if it was like if Thomas legitimately was just such a heavy sleeper that
yeah.
like every effort the other doctor took, he would not wake up, and he's like, well, fuck it, guess he's gonna die. I want to see that alternate timeline.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, story quite enticing, art fantastic, Batman broken. 8.75 out of 10.
8.25 out of 10 for me.
And I think I gave mine, and that's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Nice.
Right on.
Batman adjacent?
I was gonna say a character that has no problems with age.
There you go.
Prime of his youth, somewhat. All right, Nightwing and number 119, brought from the very exciting, creative team of Dan Waters doing the writing with art from Dexter Soy, colors from Veronica Gandini, and letters from Wes Abbott, and a stunning cover from Dexter Soy. I even have my signed copy right here, which is pretty cool.
I'm jealous. That's cool.
Yeah, Dan
I like
Waters. I guess he lives in New York now. He was doing a signing yesterday.
All
I
right.
saw it. I was like, oh, okay. So it's only like 30 minutes away from me.
Nice.
Anyway, our story starts with a puppeteer who's narrating the, I guess, history of Robin from whirling Daredevil up to crusading Titan, although he seems to be a little bit upset at the trajectory of Dick Grayson's path. So he decides to let this show play out, although he clearly is not happy with where Nightwing has ended up, and will likely, as we see later in the issue, have some hand in the future of the events in Nightwing's life. But we cut to a meeting of the mob bosses in Bloodhaven, featuring Mama Bear, Boss Bludgeon, Dr. Proboscis, and the Blockbuster Gang, who have now all reached a truce, dividing up various parts of Bloodhaven to just maximize the profits of all the groups without as much infighting. But unfortunately, that meeting is broken up by Nightwing, who is so, I guess, emotionally moved by the fact that there are these classic old style villains that he is almost crying, but of course, Nightwing is just quipping, being silly. So anyway, he manages to take down some of the leaders, but it discovers a hidden explosive that manages to destroy the warehouse where all the bosses were meeting, and now has destroyed all of the top leaders in Bloodhaven. Of course, is going to destabilize all of the criminal organizations in Bloodhaven. So he goes the next day to meet with Melinda and inform her that all of the bosses and underbosses in Bloodhaven have been killed, but she's in the middle of a meeting, which probably shouldn't have led with that. So not the best move by the former boy wonder. But Melinda's in a meeting with a new player in the game, the CEO of Spheric Solutions, Miss Olivia Pierce, who apparently has a reputation in the technology world for developing technology that can kill superheroes. Of course, Dick being a superhero, not very pleased to see her there. But Olivia's defense is that in a world full of superheroes causing mass destruction, don't you kind of need a way to protect yourself? Something like that. Exactly. If a superhero blows up your car, aren't you worried your house is going to be next? You probably want something to, knock the sumbitch out. But anyway,
Right.
so Olivia leaves. Dick naturally is very upset with Melinda for holding a meeting with Olivia Pierce, but Melinda's defense is that not only are the elections coming up, but Bloodhaven is in chaos right now, and frankly, the people need some kind of way to feel safe in the city. So she has to make a decision that, frankly, people aren't going to like, but she has to do that as the mayor. Sometimes you got to make the tough calls. So Dick is upset naturally and calls Oracle, tells her about everything, but he decides that his next move is going to make a decision that he doesn't like, or rather, he's going to make a decision that other people perhaps won't like. You get a montage of all the chaos in the city. But Dick manages to take care of some of the members of Dr. Proboscis's gang. I think they're called the Fly Boys. I can't remember.
I think
And
that's
basically,
it, yeah.
issues them an ultimatum that he's already issued to the rest of them. He's not going to bust any of them. He's going to let them go about their business as usual while he uncovers the mystery of the murder of the crime bosses of Bloodhaven. But if they start, doing more intergang violence, he's going to come after them, and it's going to be no more Mr. Nice Nightwing.
Right. I like how he said it too.
Yeah. No, that
He
was
said, I'm putting
great
my
sequence.
foot down. Don't make it
down.
on your neck.
Which we get an even better moment where Oracle's like, "Oh, I like seeing you get all authoritative," and Dick's like, right? I mean, I feel like people forget that I was raised by Batman. You know what I'm saying? I can be mean if I need to be.
Right.
I learned how to do that too. So anyway, Dick goes to investigate a warehouse, I think owned by Spheric Solutions. Just looking at all the mysterious technology that's out there. But clearly it's a lot more high-powered than should be available to any old street tough in Bloodhaven. And that's when one of the devices activates and starts firing at Nightwing. And unbeknownst to him, there appears to be another bomb hidden there. And in the background, we hear the mysterious narrator that we saw at the beginning, basically talking about how this circus boy that they had known at the beginning has changed, and are making plans to retaliate, and ends with, "What does a bird in the circus tent mean?" And we see Olivia Pierce, who appears to be working alongside this mysterious figure, say, "Death, a bird means death," triggering some kind of device, which probably is the explosive we saw hidden in the factory. So what an exciting start to Dan Waters' run on Nightwing. Honestly, probably my favorite book of the week. Whoa, spoilers. No, it was great. What a great... This is like... I'm trying to think of another example besides the Straczynski Spider-Man issue that I always talk about when I'm like, when you want an issue that transitions from one creative team to the next, that's like a smooth segue. How do you do that without it being like a sharp turn that just completely ignores everything that came before? And this felt like, we're going to do our new thing. It's going to focus on the Bloodhaven gangs, but there's still plot threads that we're dealing with from the old run with, Melinda, and obviously the Titans still being in Bloodhaven. And I don't know if they mentioned the Pennyworth Foundation in this. I think they might. So there's elements from the previous run actually that will continue. Oh, yeah, there you go. But it's also still doing its own thing. And I got to say, like, easily best part of this issue. I mean, the story is great. The setup is great. But we kind of saw this in the Detective Comics backup. But Dan Waters' voice for Nightwing. Ooh. Chef's kiss. It's so good. Yeah. Like, it rides the fine line of being quippy enough, right, where, he's making his jokes and everything, but also, like, Nightwing can mean business if he needs to. And I was like, oh, that's, you just, in one issue, you're able to oscillate between the two defining characteristics of Nightwing. It was perfect. So, yeah, I dug this issue a lot. Dexter Soy knocks it out of the park. I don't even need to say anything. The art is great in this issue. So, 9 out of 10 for me. Serious. Like, from the moment Dick showed up in the warehouse and was, like, making jokes about how it brings a tear to his eye, I was like, oh, yeah, this could be a good time. It's going to be a good time. So, yeah, good issue.
Very good issue. Like, my only thought is this is going to be freaking awesome. I don't know what else to add. I mean, it's beautiful art with a bitching story. Hell yeah. 8.75 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't really have much more to add. It was a really good story, really great first issue for the creative team. I agree with Brandon. The segue leading from one team to the next was fantastic.
Right.
Yeah,
he's in my top 5.
Who, Dan Waters?
Dexter Soy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's definitely my top 10. He's very underrated.
Yeah.
For all the flaws of the Rebirth, Red Hood, and the Outlaws, he was definitely the best part.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, by far. But yeah, like bright future for Nightwing ahead, I think, so to speak. I don't know how high of a score to give this. What is too low?
What is
You know?
too low?
I don't
Yeah.
know. What's too high?
I would say around 1,000 milligrams of
Oh my!
THC.
I knew. I was waiting. I practically said it so you could set it up.
Whoa.
Whoa. No, I'm gonna give this a 9. Honestly, I'm gonna give it a 9 as well.
It's right there, man. 8.75 for me, 9 from both of you guys. It was awesome. I'm looking forward to all of these new creative teams and the directions that they are going. But Action Comics is a different story coming out weekly.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
it's already been on the all-in train, and we've had this creative team for 2 issues already. In fact, this is week 3, and this is Phantoms.
Does the all-in train go choo-choo, or does it go all in?
All in.
All in.
No, yes.
I think that the smokestack go choo choo, the whistle go choo choo, but the wheels go all in, all in, all in, all in, all in.
No.
Oh god.
I am all in. I am. Awesome.
All right, so this is written by Mark Waid with art from Clayton Henry and Michael Shelfer, with colors from Matt Herms and letters from Dave Sharp. With the cover you see before you with Sands of Time from Clayton Henry
Very
and
reminiscent of the Death of Superman cover, in my opinion. There's something about it that just screams that to me.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
It definitely is the somber tone of the Death of Superman cover. You're talking about the one with the flag, the Superman flag,
Yes.
or his cape on the pole or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was
I
hanging
can
there
see
all
that.
ragging and shit.
That's a dope cover.
Anyway, old
yes, it
man
is.
moment. Let's go.
I get to brag. I have my copy signed by Dan Jurgens. Whoa.
What?
What? Anyway, let's continue.
I think Josh needs to hear that again.
You have your copy signed by Dan Jurgens?
I do have my copy signed by Dan Jurgens.
I
I think I sent a picture of that at some point.
Probably at some point.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was unremarkable. He just, there was no like, oh yeah, I love that. I'm sure he signed thousands of that issue. He's just like, oh hey, nice to meet you. So yeah.
Let me slide that in there.
Okay, you just brought up a question for me. So I was just thinking, like, damn, that's a good idea to get signed by Dan Jurgens if he ever comes to Fan Expo. But now I'm wondering, like, for me, what would you guys say? What should I get signed by Dan Jurgens? Should I get Booster Gold signed? Should I get my
Obviously.
Mr. Gold.
Death of Superman hardcover? Or, like, how many fucking Dan Jurgens books do I have?
I mean, you have the Booster Golds,
Complete
the
2007
trade of
series.
the 2007 series,
Yeah.
which that would be great to sign. But if you can find a copy of Booster Gold #1, I don't think they're that expensive. That would be a great thing to sign.
Like
that's like the first series.
The 2007?
the one from No, the one from
the
'84.
OG. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the OG, because that's the
Yeah.
one he wrote and drew.
Right.
Yeah, Booster was his baby.
So
Yeah,
I have
100%.
every issue of the 2007
Immaculate
series.
Conception.
Oh my
I'll
goodness.
have to see if maybe Dad had that in the basement. There's
Knowing
Dude,
your
tell
dad,
you
probably.
shitting. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
That would be awesome, man.
I still gotta find time to get into all those boxes.
Mm.
There's
But yeah, I don't think it was a very in-demand series. So if you can find a copy of #1 in your dad's basement or somewhere else, like that would be
Yeah.
super cool to get signed.
You
I'd
know what would be
jealous.
awesome is if you found it and it was already signed by Dan Jurgens.
Holy shit.
And then hold
Oh.
on, and then look, you take it back to a convention with Dan Jurgens, right? and you go, "Hey, my dad got this signed by the writer, but would you mind signing it? It still needs the artist." He would remember you.
Yeah, that would be
That's
fantastic.
interesting.
He would remember you for a while, man.
Yeah.
How would you feel? I know it might be a little bit hard, but how would you feel about doing a Booster Gold cosplay?
If I could afford it, I would love it. But now my mind is spinning. It might be doable.
I think you could do it.
Very
I
low
could see it.
cost.
Just need you need blonde hair.
Wigs exist for a reason.
But you
This
could get
is
like
true.
a
It's not like I could
I
dye
mean,
anything.
maybe there's a custom one, but I feel like you can get like a blue skin suit and maybe like do the gold plating over it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be
yeah.
like the
Actually, that'd be
fanciest
easier.
cosplay, but it
I
would
was
work.
thinking do gold and then get blue on top, but maybe blue and then
Huh.
gold on top would be better.
Blue and then gold on top would be better because the gold would look better because you're probably gonna have to spray paint the pieces
Yeah.
that you want to use, the foam. So you're gonna want that metallic gold paint to really pop. So use your base as the blue.
Right.
You don't want the gold looking dull.
Good point. Very good point. Shit, I might be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to see that.
You need a steady hand with a knife, no drips with the spray paint.
I've gotten pretty good with spray paint.
Really good hot glue.
Yep. Make sure you put that on cardboard or some
God,
kind
yeah.
of newspaper.
Oh, and you
That
know what?
spray paint anywhere.
Yeah.
All you got to do is go to Home Depot and get one of those yellow lensed drive at night sunglasses. That I see
Yeah.
it every Home Depot.
Yeah. Easy. Yeah, because actually, like, making the full cowl might be a little harder.
Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
That one might be a little more involved.
Yeah.
But then again, who knows? Etsy has everything.
Yeah? We'll have to
Mildly
see.
curious. I wonder if that's the thing.
Okay, how about this, Brandon? I'll do Booster
Etsy
Gold.
is the rule 34 of the internet marketplace.
I'll do Booster Gold if you do Ted Cord.
Oh my god. I would love to do a Ted Cord. That would be awesome. I would just want to figure out how to make that costume if I could. Man.
That would be probably the easiest one, man.
You think so?
Oh God, yeah. I mean,
I
you
feel
would
like-
just
I
wear a
don't know.
full body morph suit and some yellow goggles, and then you would just paint it. You would go with the classic Blue Beetle look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
That would be
I guess I
sick,
could always
dude.
get like a Home Depot utility belt and then, make like a fake gun or something. Huh.
The utility belt, that kind of stuff you should be able to find online. Like they
Oh,
make
yeah, that's easy.
the
Yeah.
perfect pouches would be pouches that are made to hold a tape measure.
Yeah.
Those are just the right size, dude. They'll look
Hang on.
perfect for a superhero.
Like, I'm just using my.
I actually
my
really
thing
like
as
that
reference. He
idea. I
doesn't-
kind of want to do that. Damn. I wish I had more time. I would have done that for this Halloween.
Write it down, man. What were you saying, Rob?
He doesn't have a utility belt.
He's
think he
got a
does.
belt, doesn't
Yeah.
he?
He's got a belt, but it's not like full of pouches.
Well, no, it's just like 2 or something.
No, it's like a plain fucking belt.
But
What?
hang on. What am I?
Why am I remembering he's got one on each side?
Am I going crazy? I remember that too.
What the fuck, dude?
I mean,
Rob,
maybe not.
are we
in
been
the-
Mandela?
Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I don't know.
Rob would be
but-
from the new universe. I remember it too.
I'm going like I'm seeing some images from like the 2000s, and there's nothing.
Back further.
Maybe I'm thinking of like hang on. I think this is from Countdown to Infinite Crisis. It's not like a ton of pouches, but there's like a couple.
One on each side.
Yeah.
I don't see any.
You see? I'm not talking about the satchel. Like you can kind of see the pouches going around his waist.
Yeah. Oh, see, there's two there.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
like-
Well, Yep.
Well, shit. Let me show all the images I found.
That's a lot of images, Mike. Those goggles would be hard to pull off, though.
I feel like there's a way I could get
Oh, they're
like you know
definitely
those
there.
what do you call them, like the Oakley sunglasses with the multicolor like yellow tint. It'd do something like that.
The official face wear of the Dude Bro.
Oh my god, that's the only time I'll ever wear Oakley sunglasses, and they'll be deconstructed, so it's fine. It's fine.
Everything will be okay, man.
Yeah, something like
It was done for a greater good. Oh, shit. We went to talking about cosplay from Action Comics.
oops.
I don't think we finished that.
No.
What in the blue hell was that?
Yeah, well, here's all the Ted cord I found. There's not a single pouch on his belt.
What the fuck? What the fuck? That is so weird.
I don't know. I must be tripping or something.
But we both remember it.
Yeah.
I'm even going back to like old JLI stuff. I'm trying to find a good image of him in JLI.
Wait.
I feel like if it was gonna be anywhere, it would definitely be in like in the 2000s or something. You know, shortly before he died.
Most of these images I posted are from the 2000s.
Okay. Huh.
So there are
It's like
occasional there's occasional images I find where he has a gun holster on one side,
Yeah.
but that's it, just one.
Am I going crazy? I could have sworn he had a belt. Aside
Well,
from
he's
this
got-
panel and
he's-
countdown, I don't know,
It's
maybe.
a belt, but there's no.
Yeah. Or like, well, yeah, like, you know, it has. I'm not saying like it's a tricked out utility belt like Batman, but it had
Pouch
some
on, I
pouches
remember,
on it.
yeah, like a wider pouch on either side, like about the
Yeah.
size of a tape measure holster.
Oh, here
It was
is two images from JLI. There's one that's got like the gun holster, and the other side has nothing.
this is so fucked up.
That is weird, man. That is
I mean,
really
I'm
weird.
even I'm even like scrolling through images of Dan Garrett to see if I'm mixing shit up. But no, he only had a belt too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you just got
God.
Mandela, son.
Bro, this is
What?
weird.
This is so
Tripping.
weird. You're from the universe. I wonder what else is different. Tell me what else is different.
Booster Gold never had a belt either.
Oh my God, that's not true.
He kept wearing the cape?
No, Booster Gold has a belt, doesn't he?
No.
Shut the fuck up.
What?
You are joking about that, right?
I don't think so.
Oh god. Well, there's Booster right there in one of the images I sent you. There's no fucking belt.
Okay, no, never mind. I see it.
I'm sitting here looking at my Ted
Oh,
cord.
it's all good.
Fucking pouch.
Booster Gold is as he should be, but Ted Cord isn't. He's missing his pouches.
Yeah.
I find it crazy. Like I find it weird that both of you remember pouches. I'm like, I've never fucking seen pouches on Ted Cord.
That's making me trip, man.
Like maybe
Hard, right?
like New 52 Ted Cord when he first started out, when Jaime was the Blue Beetle. Like he had that. He just had the goggles and the Beetle T-shirt. He had all the pouches. Then is like the only time I can really remember Blue Beetle having pouches.
Huh.
Well, then obviously Brandon and I have synced up and developed the best Blue Beetle costume. Contact us for a redesign, guys.
Oh man.
All right, back to Action Comics.
Back to Action Comics.
Let's starting Action Comics. So we didn't even start. All right, we open on Clark reminiscing about his time meeting Mon-El and the adventures they spent together up until the point where he was fatally poisoned by lead and needed to be locked away in the Phantom Zone until they could find a cure, which leads them to the present day, where Mon-El has revealed himself to be, at least in the costume of the Phantom King, and he greets Clark with a friendly smile and a firm, grasping handshake.
Sup, dude?
Yep, total fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers moment. You son of a bitch.
Now let me carry this tree.
That was a younger Schwarzenegger. I was a little too governator. You son of a bitch. Right, so he reveals pretty much all the answers that Clark has questions for about this. Excuse me, I had to cough. This mysterious being kind of just appeared in the Phantom Zone one day upon discovering it. A man named Aether, who had the power and abilities to create matter within the Phantom Zone after at first finding compassion for out within the Phantom Zone, wondering why they were all incorporeal, and took pity on them, created land and created laws and created a world for them to exist in. But in doing so, almost instantly he discovered why all the beings were trapped here, as one of the inmates who now had a tangible form picked up a rock and killed another inmate that had tangible form directly in front of him. And that angered Aether and began creating the laws, albeit very strict laws, in which they would do mundane, boring tasks and strenuous work, such as building structures, then demolishing them again just for the hell of it. He introduced insane, monstrous alien creatures and beasts to keep the prisoners at bay, and essentially made this place a living hell, down to the point that he made Zadu the quote-unquote warden of the Phantom Zone. But Mon-El was able to rally a few other Phantom Zone prisoners onto his side, and they formed a coup and took over the Phantom King's pirate ship, trapped him in the brig, and then Mon-El took on the role of the Dread Pirate Robbers.
Surprise!
Okay, I was. That's a joke for a very niche crowd.
I didn't get it at all.
Dread Pirate Roberts, Princess Bride.
Oh, boof.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
fine. I even paused for
Some people laughed.
comedic effect and it just didn't work.
No,
Someone
I
laughed.
No
Somebody
idea.
laughed. I laughed on the inside.
I get the Princess Bride and the Princess Diaries confused, bro. So
I don't know how.
that's
There's
how
so
little I've seen of them.
different stories. You need to watch The Princess Bride more.
All right, I'll put
Which one
that
is
on
the
top
one
of
with
my list.
Anne Hathaway?
That's
Is it the Princess Bride or Princess Diaries? Oh, okay.
Breaking my heart tonight.
I'm so sorry.
Princess Bride is one of the best movies ever made.
I remember that there's a Prepare to Die, and that's pretty much it.
Inigo Montoya. Don't go up against a Sicilian when death is on the line. I am not left-handed. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Humperdinck, Humperdinck, Humperdinck. Have fun storming the castle. There's so many quotable lines.
Bless you.
Thank you. Anywho, Colin Kanan and American Superboy.
American Superboy. There's
are
only one
at-
Superboy.
You're a Superboy. They're at the Fortress of Solitude. Yeah, you look confused.
I am
Yeah,
confused.
you better look confused. So yeah, they're at the Fortress of Solitude after opening the door, getting an alert that there was an intruder, and they enter all shocked to find nothing. everything has been ransacked and gone. It
Poof.
is gone, completely stolen, and they have no idea how or why. They begin bickering
You
between
gotta be
themselves as to
shitting
whose
me.
fault it really is, and then the S symbol on Connor's chest begins to glow, opens a portal and sucks him through. Kong turns around, finds Connor is not there, and then the S symbol on his shoulder begins to glow, opens a portal, sucks him through, and the pair appear in a museum exhibit, an alien museum exhibit. They're
Oopsie.
in one of the exhibits alongside all of the things that are missing from the Fortress of Solitude. So what the fuck's going on there?
And it looks better or some shit, right?
Yeah. And I gotta ask you guys, that giant purple robot with the gold kind of eagle-looking thing on his chest, why does this motherfucker look so familiar? I want to bring it up while I'm on the page right now. I recognize most of these guys, but that one looks so familiar, and I can't think of. Could be nobody. Could be somebody.
I
Which one?
do not know.
The last page with Connor and Kong, the giant purple robot in the bottom left corner with the gold winged thing on his chest. Yeah. Anywho,
He looks like a transformer.
yeah, maybe.
Mecha Judge Dredd.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's a good point.
I am the law.
All right. So meanwhile, after Mon-El has told Cleric everything he needs to know about the recent history of the Phantom Zone, they head off towards Aether's basically home base, where they have to head through a sort of meteor ring. But in doing so, they do become intangible yet again. All material forms kind of disappear, and that's when they clue in that, oh shit, we had Zadu chained up in the brig. So they head down to the jail cell, and Zadu has escaped. And now they begin to maybe panic a little bit. So then we see that Zadu has arrived at Aether, or to Aether, and is telling him everything about the Supermen and what he plans to do next. And this is when Zadu reveals that Kal-El is very strong and has taken me out many times, including everybody in the Phantom Zone. So if he should not bow to supremacy, you will destroy the Earth. And this is when Aether says, Zadu, I already am, and reveals a very vampiric visage in his face. And I want to ask you guys this again. Does he look familiar to you? He doesn't look familiar to me, but like that reveal feels like it should be something.
That big ass
No.
face?
Yeah.
Only thing I think of is 30 Days a Night Vampire.
Yeah.
It's a raw.
And
Those
in our
creepy looking motherfuckers.
very brief part 3 of the backup, DC Comics presents Supergirl and New Mission, New Enemies. It's written by Mariko Tamaki with art from Skylar Patridge, colors from Marisa Louise, and letters from Becca Carey. Kara is stuck with this prison robot after the judge has been taken away by what I still can only assume is the Spider Guild. The robot is not very helpful, as it does reveal it is able to reveal any information about the prison and the people therein that work in the prison, but cannot actually answer any of the questions Kara needs answered. So she heads off towards the one thing she's given info on is where is the staff of the facility right now. So she ends up on this kind of little spider-like satellite, and she does find the judge, and the judge is able to give her a device that has the location of the prisoner, and with that, The judge is also revealed to be a robot itself, and with that, the judge's task is complete, and the robot shuts off. So the Spider Guild cannot actually access any of the information the judge has in its systems. And then Kara heads off on her next part of the adventure. I'll start off with the backup because we're right there. It's getting a little bit more action filled now. We're getting somewhere with the story, but it still feels like way too early on to really understand what the fuck is happening.
Just don't know yet.
Yeah, we just don't know. I feel like after 3 parts and getting where we are now, I feel I could score it a little nicer now. After the previous 2 parts just didn't feel like enough story to really give a proper score. So far, I like the plot, the way it's going. It's progressing steadily. At this part, had a little bit more info. I'm curious to see where it's going to end, how it's going to end, what's the significance of this prisoner. We'll just have to see. But again, I don't score backups and main books separately, so we'll see how that factors in the overall score for me. The main story, pretty interesting. I like all that excess backup, and it kind of ties in why the Phantom Zone has changed so much over the years, because it seems like every time Clark entered the Phantom Zone over the past 10, 20, God knows how many years, it was slowly gaining corporeal form. And I think it was actually said at one point, and I want to say it was during Dan Jurgens' second tenure on Action Comics, where he said like the Phantom Zone has ground. I don't know why. I can't figure out why, but it seems to have ground now. And they never answered that until now. And I'm like, okay, so this ties it all together. I like it. Simple. We'll see where that ends too. I think it's only a 4-week story, or is it 8? I don't remember. But I like the story. The art is good. And I like seeing Mon out. So I'm giving Action Comics an 8.5.
That's where I'm at. I enjoyed the backup more than the main story. I think it's Supergirl done right. I like her personality. I like her voice. This is where it's at right here. I think that looks great and reads great. The main story, I like the art, and story it's definitely got me curious where it's gonna go. And that 30 Days a Night vampire dude, I want to know who that is. I mean, I'm guessing it's Aether, but I don't know. I had a good time with it though, and I give the book an 8.5 as well.
Right on.
Nice. Yeah, I'm at 8.25. I do really like the art, and I'm enjoying the story, but I still feel like I need something more to really put me in or pull me in. Because Mark Waid's voice for Superman is great. Obviously, there's intrigue, there's the mystery, but I don't know. It still feels like something's missing. And maybe it'll just be a solid story. Maybe it won't be some great reinvention of the Phantom Zone. But I kind of agree with Josh. I was more captivated by the backup this time, and I've really been digging the mystery of like who is this prisoner, and what is Supergirl / the Kryptonian connection to this prisoner. I kind of want to. I don't know how long this story plans on going for, but I don't know. I want to see where it's leading. It's just really got me hooked, and the art is great.
Freaking-lutely.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes, indeed.
I wonder what's next.
I don't know. Ain't you the one that writes the schedules? I kid. Absolute Wonder Woman #1. Venturing into brave new territory, ladies and gentlemen.
Are we ever?
Written by Kelly Thompson, art from Hayden Sherman with Jordi Belair on colors for interior and cover, with lettering from Becca Carey. The Last Amazon, part 1 of 5, or also This Ain't Your Mama's Wonder Woman. Last Amazon indeed. Cersei is trapped in hell for defiance. Imagine that. And the gods have imprisoned or killed all Amazons, save for that one baby. That baby is forced upon Cersei, left in hell. Doesn't matter if she does anything with it or not. Well, Apollo, the pelican in this case, says that this is where the baby belongs. So regardless of how long it survives. And Cersei will never be allowed to say the word Amazon again, so she can't tell the baby who she is or where she truly came from. Cersei was going to let the baby die, but then changed her mind. She took in the baby, she raised the child, she trained a soldier, and she created a princess of hell. Outside of hell, in the Gateway City to be exact, where Wonder Woman's been known to pop in and out of from time to time. An alien invasion has kicked off, and wouldn't you know it, that baby shows up to defend the city. She introduces herself as she warns the aliens to turn around. I am Diana of Themyscira, last of the Amazons, daughter of Cersei, princess of hell, and witch of the Wild Isle, which is where hell is. And apparently, I'll say definitely, she's all out of bubblegum. Man, this was badass. The idea for this, the way it was done, it's nothing mind blowing, but it's done in a way that makes sense, and we can get a sense of who she is as a character. There's 4 more parts to this first arc, and I'm really wanting to get more of this. Sherman and Bel Air also, they help it make a hell of a good book to look at. I really like this. I gave it an 8.75 out of 10. I am pleasantly surprised.
I 100% agree. I really liked it.
And I skipped the cover again.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I think you said the same thing. I was gonna go in just completely blind and curious, and yeah, was not disappointed. It was a very interesting take on Wonder Woman, quite literally flipping the story 180
right on its head.
Yeah, and I think it works out really well.
And I'm glad that they didn't go the daughter of Hades route. They came up with this, and it feels just like doing a 180, but doing a 180 well.
Yeah. So when they first announced Absolute Comics and were giving us teases about the heroes, it was making me think that it was kind of a cop-out classic of, it's this character, but instead it's literally like the opposite of the heroes. So it's Batman, except he's not rich, his parents aren't completely dead, and he didn't
has
have
no
Alfred.
problem with hacking people's body parts.
Yeah, he's a 180 on Batman morally.
Well, did they ever say the opposite? Because I was always under the impression that it was just going to be a kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say gritty, but like a harsher, more antagonistic universe that they were going to be occupying.
I mean, generally that's the idea, but I'm just like seeing thematically
it's Darkseid's universe.
Yeah, it's the opposite of Light in a way, where you have Batman, but the morals are reversed, right? You have Wonder Woman, but instead of growing up in paradise, she grew up in hell, right? You have Superman, but instead of Krypton being a technological paradise, instead it was a farmland, and his biological parents were simple farmers, right?
Then he comes here and he's a god.
Yeah, like you have Martian Manhunter, but he's not a Martian. It's like thematically it's opposite ideas of the characters, but it's a darker, grittier DC Comics of the heroes.
With absolute power.
With absolute power, yeah. Absolute Wonder Woman is fantastic. I'm all in on it. I really like it. I like it more than regular Wonder Woman. Final Fantasy Wonder Woman for me is here to stay.
Hell yeah, this run, it's way better.
Oh god, yeah. we need Kelly Thompson on regular Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of these
that
days.
would be awesome.
I'm going to give this. Honestly, I feel like I'm scoring a little high, but I'm going to give it a 9. I'm struggling to find any reason to score it lower.
Very well. I give it an
Yeah.
8.75. Where are you at with it, Brandon?
I also gave it an 8.75. Hayden Sherman's layouts are fucking insane, and
Oh
they're
God, are they?
awesome. And it's like the second coming of J.H. Williams.
Yeah.
No, he's not
Right.
dead.
Yeah.
But the influence there is very profound. I felt like I was reading Promethea. But
Well,
aside from that, yeah, no, it's just a killer story. Great concept of Wonder Woman being the last of the Amazons and raised in hell. And I love this reinterpretation of the dynamic between Diana and Cersei.
Right?
Like the whole, I'm just gonna let fate take care of itself, and she doesn't really give a crap. And then she's like, oh, there's something interesting here, and then eventually ends up caring for her. Never in my life did I think I'd see a version of Cersei who was like,
I love
embracing
you.
Diana being an Amazon, which is
Yeah.
crazy. So just great stuff all around. And I agree,
Those
Tom Thompson should be writing Wonder Woman.
those 2 double-page spreads
Amen.
of just showing Diana's growth and the growth
Yeah.
of their home was. I went back and looked at that like 3 times. It was brilliant.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Yeah, it was good stuff for sure.
Mm.
All right, I guess that's it for the
Time
book.
for our favorite big stuff.
Yes.
What a show! All right, so we'll jump right into it. Top 3 books of the week and favorite moment if you had one. Josh, you want to kick us off?
Sure. Nightwing number 119 is in 3rd place. Absolute Wonder Woman number 1 gets 2nd, and 1st place goes to Detective Comics 1090. My favorite moment though is Diana busting into the invasion with her Dragon Queen Khaleesi speech. That was fucking awesome, and it looked amazing too.
Yeah.
Right on, Brandon.
Nightwing number 1, Absolute Wonder Woman number 2, and I don't know. Probably Green Arrow for number 3. Yeah, this was tough. It was a good week.
Yeah.
I wanted to possibly put Superman there because I did really enjoy that issue, and I also enjoy Detective Comics, but I'll probably have to give it to Green Arrow just because those last 2 pages. I mean, it was a good issue, but the last 2 pages of the Williamson side of the story, that was like, okay, yeah, Ollie's fucking back. But favorite moment for this week is actually from none of those books. It's from The Flash, and it was probably the moment that genuinely made me laugh this week, where Red Tornado brings Red Tornado brings Flash aside, and Wally just says, "It's a squid."
No, it's definitely a squid.
It's like it's a message. It's like it's
a squid.
definitely a squid. I don't know. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, that was good. I especially love the sass that Red Tornado gave him at the end of that conversation.
Yeah,
Right.
that
Yeah,
was good.
whatever, dude. Go have fun with your wife and child. Dick. I'd have fun with my wife too. If I had a body,
If I had a body.
you know. No, I'm stuck here on the fucking satellite because you people can't do your goddamn job.
Fucking jerks.
You and your legs and you're running around. I wish I could run around because I don't have a fucking body.
Fucking jerks.
Yeah, I need a Red Tornado comic where he's just a dick to everybody.
Right,
just a
Black
one-off.
Label, obviously.
Please,
Yeah.
yes.
Because I really want to hear him say fucking jerks.
Oh, did that hurt? Did that hurt when I blasted wind into you? Oh, did it break your leg?
Mhm.
Well, that's great. You can feel pain. I don't have emotions.
You fucking jerk.
Fuck you. All right, so for me, my top 3, number 3 is going to be Nightwing, number 2 is going to be Absolute Wonder Woman, and number 1 is going to be Green Arrow. My favorite moment, there's so many great ones this week, but I got to give it to Ollie just doing his classic spiel of owning up to shit in front of the Justice League, where he starts off apologetic.
Fuck you.
And then, you know what?
No, actually, you know
just-
what? I'm not sorry.
Yeah,
Fuck
he rambles himself so much into a tirade that he just gets pissed off again. That's, yeah, classic Ollie. Gotta love it. She know, fuck you. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, Josh, you want to take us out?
I sure do. Up next week, we have released Action Comics number 1073, Batman The Long Halloween, Last Halloween number 2, The Nice House by the Sea number 4, Poison Ivy Swamp Thing number 1, Multiverse Collision Detected number 4, and there's the Penguin Special and Wonder Woman Uncovered. There's a bunch of stuff coming out trade-wise too. Batman Superman World's Finest, the Silver Age edition. That's got eyes. For some reason, there's a trade paperback coming out for Scooby-Doo's Greatest Adventures. And also the very confusingly titled Absolute Batman, Death of the Family. And it's $100. And no, it's got nothing to do with Absolute Batman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's still their trade series of Absolute, the Absolute Edition.
You would think that they would
Change
maybe
it up.
have some sort of distinction as to not confuse new readers. But
Yeah.
that is it. Thank you, everybody out there, for watching and or listening. We'll be back next week covering all of DC's weekly releases. Same Geek time, same Geek channel, and that is the show. We're getting out of here, so you'll have to as well. Be careful out there, and remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has